Good evening, wherever in the world you are right now. Welcome, folks, to the ePremier League finals. We're in the group stages here, George, and we're getting right on into the thick of things. We have got 10 series for the lovely folks at home today, don't we?
We do indeed. 10 long matches. I'm very excited to get into this one with you guys. I cannot wait, to be honest with you. It's going to be a close group, but it's going to be a great group. We've got some big teams in here, and we've also got some, some lower clubs that are ready to fight their way to the top.
Yeah, so let's have a little look at the teams taking part today. These are all 20 from across the Premier League, of course. But we're looking at Group B today, so let's bring up those teams and start talking about them, because we have got Burnley, Everton, Leicester City, Liverpool, and Manchester City. This group, Group B, I mean, we're probably playing favoritism a little bit here because we're covering Group B, but I think everyone's looking at this and going, this can go any way. It's almost the group of death, if you will. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, obviously, you've got Liverpool and City, Manchester City, that is, looking really like to dominate the top of the league. You've also got Leicester City, who are going to be fighting for it. Everton are going to be in the mid-table places. I feel like they can fight for the top, but obviously, you got to look at Liverpool and Manchester City if you're thinking who's going to take the champions of the group.
And leaving out Burnley there, because we've been looking at them, talking to players, and they're seemingly a bit scrappy. They know they're the underdogs coming into this, and they're almost using that to empower themselves and give them a bit more energy. But let's start getting into this first match, because the players are just warming on up. We're looking at Liverpool versus Leicester City. The way we're going to be running this, and throughout the entirety of the day, leg one, the very first match, is going to be on Xbox. The second match then is on PS5, isn't it, George?
It is indeed, but we've got the first match coming up, Painter versus Tex, the GOAT versus Painter. Tex, obviously, what can you say about this man? He is an absolute legend when it comes to FIFA, and, well, Liverpool versus Leicester, it should be an incredible match. Personally, I'm going to go with Liverpool. I think Liverpool probably are going to take this one home, but I do think that Leicester have what it takes to provide that upset. It's got to be done in the first leg for me, though.
Yeah, it's so important here to have two players on the pitch at the same time, taking it in turns, of course, going with the Xbox first and then the PlayStation. And we're all talking, is it easier to chase, or is it better to lead? To, like, what would you rather be in, that first match or second? And we're all divided as casters, really.
Yeah.
I know I'm in the favorite position of being first, because you don't want to be the teammate that has to step forward, being 2-3 goals down and having to put in all that work, because that power, that situation was just given to you. You didn't earn it. You don't know how your opponent's playing, so you can't turn it around and change strategies. Both players have to be on their A game today, don't they? Yeah,
it's very true. You need to be on your top game for all these tournaments. They're absolutely massive. And I feel like for Liverpool, they're going to want to take that lead early. Tex is going to want to get that momentum in his favour. He's going to want to try and put his stamp on this match. But I feel like that could play into Leicester's hands a bit, because they're the underdogs in this situation. They're knowing that it's not going to be easy for them. So if they go 1-2 goals down into that second leg, I fancy Josh, to be honest, against Diogo. I feel like he could make a result there. So we will have to see. But both the players do look ready and rearing to go, to be honest. They look very set for this one, and they're going to have to, because there's a lot of games to play today.
Yeah, it's almost like that they're sitting thinking, what's the hold-up? We're just waiting for the buzzer near enough to let them get onto the pitch. And when we look at Liverpool, again, infamous players here in both Diogo and Tex, and I think, like we were talking about earlier, it plays into the hands of these other teams where they've got the VODs, they've got the replays to be able to go back through and see how these guys are playing, not only, for the numerous past years, but of course this season so far. And Leicester, I'm thinking of coming in with a game plan. This is a team that, when we were talking to, say, Cosmin yesterday, just looked quietly confident and almost smart, like calculating about the game.
He had something about him. He just had that something. I don't know what it is. It just, as soon as you walked up to him, you could just tell that he meant business, and he had that swagger about himself. So we'll have to see how he gets on. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like for Leicester, you've got all of the VODs in the world, because you can just look at Tex. He's been playing for years upon years. He's played in every major tournament. You've got everything for him. So you can really try to counter this lad and try and play past him. But that's why he's so good. That's why he's stuck around for so long, because it is so hard to counter him.
Well, you got to think as well, being able to keep up year on year with every update to the game, every iteration, whether it be FIFA, I remember him playing back on 18, that far back, and even before that, really. But, that was when my eyes started getting drawn to the game. And being able to keep up with every iteration, every single patch really does change the game. And when we're looking to the newer years, especially FIFA 21, 22, where tactics are such a big factor to the game, being able to, some players would say abuse them, but it's more about just knowing how the AI work and how to work around them. That's a big mental part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, custom tactics, this year, obviously, a lot of people have a lot of opinions on custom tactics, and how they work, and, you can play the drop back, but I feel like it's, obviously, as a player, you can really do what you want with these custom tactics. You can choose how you want to play. You can choose your play style. Obviously, there's going to be the meta, but there are a lot of meta breakers with these players. There are a lot of players that get into these kind of tournaments and they take people by surprise just because they don't go into the curve. They don't play into that meta.
Because the interesting thing was, when we got, on the media day talking to these players, you saw what are their preferred, formations. Everyone was near enough in unison about either 4-4-2 or 4-1-2-1-2.
Yeah.
And now coming into yesterday, some players are like, oh, we've been trying the 4-3-3, and all of that, and we're seeing the Italian games sort of evolve and everything. And it's come down to where it gets to crunch time, like this, the grand finals. Who are the risk takers? Who are the players that are going to throw a little spanner in the works, change it up to really throw off the competition?
Yeah. The problem is that it can be so rewarding, but it can also be detrimental. You've got these players coming in. If they want to change their formations, obviously they can. You can change formation, obviously, to the 4-3-3. It doesn't mean too much, obviously, but I feel like it can be so rewarding if you've practiced something a lot overnight, over the last week or so. You feel like with the new patch coming out, it is a bit stronger. You've been trying it, you've been practicing it. And if you use it in this kind of event and it pays off, it can be, it can be one of those legend-making moments. He came into the tournament, he completely broke the meta, he changed it completely. I'd love to see that. Whether we will see that or not, it's yet to be seen, though.
And then, of course, being back on LAN, we have to talk about that. For, the past 2 years, there's been a lot of play from home, playing online. Here, when you're on a LAN server, it is a completely different atmosphere. When you've got those lights, that studio, which looks absolutely phenomenal, and players have to take it all in. For some of these players, their first time in a studio environment, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, exactly. It's been my first time at a LAN for over 2 years, so it's been a crazy last couple of years. But we're finally back. The players are here, and honestly, it's just nice to see. The atmosphere completely changes. We was at the hotel, obviously, this morning and last night, and all the players were kind of together. They're all hanging around each other, and it shows that they, the FIFA community is quite tightly knitted. Everybody knows each other, and it's nice to see. But obviously, very excited to get this game started. The players obviously sitting there. They've got their hand warmers on the go. Oh, we need some of those. That's what we need. Yeah, it's
actually so cold in that studio, so the hand warmers aren't there to, because players always complain about, oh, my hands were cold and that. I can understand that for the first time, because if you're at home, you've got no excuse. Just go pop the heating on.
Exactly. But yeah, it looks like they're getting the headsets on and ready to go. Obviously, we're going to see the teams, hopefully, when we get into game. But I'm very excited for this one. Obviously, you know the story about Tex. You know everything that he's got about him. But for Brad, this is a chance for him to really cement himself to be, the world beater in a way. You can really cement a name for yourself here.
Interesting point there as well. Not seeing Tex put on headphones. He is just playing this without sound then, because I highly doubt he's playing it through the monitor speakers,
Some players just like to hear everything around them. Some players like complete silence, some like music. Completely depends. But we're going to see that Foot Fantasy Rashford coming off from the start. Kevin De Bruyne, I would assume, Team of the Year. Hullet in there as well. Some very nice players as we're going forward. Sancho, the Foot birthday card. Ronaldo coming forward. Hullet on the ball. Looks for Ronaldo again, but Ruben cuts it out. Team of the Year version. And yeah, we were talking about the teams coming into this, and there are some unexpected cards. I wasn't really expecting Sancho, but he's here.
Yeah, and James as well. We didn't get to see that much throughout the qualifiers. Vieira taking it down the wing, being able to find Firmino, and definitely you can see from Painter here, looking to play a very controlling game. Wants to keep possession, doesn't want Tex to take control of it, and even to a point of just dropping Rashford to the floor.
It's easier said than done to keep possession against these players, because pressing this year is hard, and we're going to see some settings be changed really quickly as maybe maybe he hasn't got his custom settings right, but yeah, it's easier said than done. The second man press this year is really strong. They put a timer on it this year, so you can't just endlessly hold it. But I feel like it is, it's one of those things that you've got to get right this year. And you see these players using it, and they use it exceptionally well. And we'll have to see if he can beat that press and can keep on hold of the ball and work his way forward.
James, fun Kante all the way up to Ronaldo. That's a beautiful through ball. Is it going to be able to come to fruition? No! Schmeichel makes it on out. De Bruyne out to Rashford. That was a very touchy moment there for Tex.
Yeah, that was close. To be fair, Schmeichel with a fantastic save. But yet again, we're going to have to see if this can continue to happen over the match. We see it early on in these kind of games. We see players take 1-2 shots against Tex, but then he kind of gets in the groove, settles down. We'll have to see if he can keep it up. Painter does look like Tex could have a chance here, but he's looking to work it down into the box, try and maybe get a pass in there.
Of course, cross is not as powerful in this one, and so wanting to just look for an inroad, wait for a player to push forward. Sancho on the ball, looking to create a couple of steps in, but Painter is just stone right there, not giving anything up, looking rock solid, and Tex has to keep on searching, not able to find anything. So that's back out to Rashford. Nice little in pass back to Ruben.
Yeah, he's got his depth set to the lowest. He's probably got himself on drop back as well for the tactics. When you've got these players dropping all the way back, you got all your CDMs and midfielders dropping back into the back four. It's impossible to get any passes around it. It's impossible to get around it and in behind. So that's what Tex is trying to do there, trying to break it down. But we'll have to see if he can do it. And Tex he's playing deep, don't get me wrong, but he's not playing as deep as Painter is, and that's why Painter's struggling to even get near his box. But enough to try and play some long balls, but Ruben Diaz will clear those up all day long.
You can now see Painter's really throwing his men forward when he's got possession of the ball. He's got to be careful on those transitions, because you could just expect Tex to go for a quick counter as Sancho on the ball, looking for an inroad. That was way offside.
Yeah, I think that one's safe for Painter, way offside. But yeah, like I said, when Painter's throwing players forward, really Tex needs to hit him on that counter-attack. He needs to hit him fast. He needs to take a play out of Liverpool's playbook in real life, hit that counter-attack nice and fast, get him behind, try and find a player in the middle. We'll have to see. Ball whipped into the area by Tomiyasu, but well defended by Painter once again. And both players rocking Sancho here. There is a run in behind. It is a good run, but the pass is a little bit wayward, and the pause will come out. We'll see if he can get the ball back here, Painter, as he's pressing, but it'll go back to Schmeichel and he can clear it up.
Yeah, that new birthday Sancho card. We were wondering if we would see it. It looks like a powerful choice, doesn't it?
It is. It's immense. It's got 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot. I think the only thing that it doesn't have is high shot power. That's the only thing that some people have been looking at, but he's got an incredible card. Honestly, I'd be expecting to see him quite a lot today, and that Rashford as well.
Yeah.
The Rashford card is... Whew.
That was the one where I was like, are we going to see people, just maybe stick to the older meta and not change out Rashford? But great to see, keeping up with it and trying to adapt these play styles, because, of course, the meta changing continuously. You don't want to be stuck in the old ways because everyone's already figured you out, haven't they?
Exactly. And that's one thing that you need to be careful of. You need to be trying not to get figured out here. And Painter coming forward, though, with João Cancelo, see if he can get it under control. Not going to put it in the middle as the press is high. We'll have to go all the way back to James at the back, and it will go out of play for a
finally
pause.
That break, which got called in what felt like an eternity ago.
It does. That was a long one. It almost got to the half-time whistle. But as you can see, we're going to see we saw the teams briefly. We saw Rafael Varane's flashback card, which is... I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it. Personally, I think it's one of the best. I think it's the best centre-back in the game right now. Ruben Diaz, Team of the Year card, absolutely phenomenal. Stick a shadow on it, and he's got something like 90-odd pace. These teams are always going to be ridiculous at this stage.
So when we look back, say, a month ago, we were so used to saying Rudiger and that sort of lot there. So what is the big change-up? How does that affect the centre-back in this current meta?
Well, it's personal preference, really, in this situation, because Varane is a little bit higher rated than that Rudiger card. I think Rudiger's a 90, and I think the Varane's 92. So, it does have impact on the restrictions of the tournament with the teams. If you want to check those out, I think you can do !rules in the chat, and I think it will come up maybe. But either way, it's personal preference really. It's up to the players and what they want to do. But 37 minutes into this game, we're still yet to break the deadlock. Let's see if we can get a goal before half-time.
Back to Hullet. Looking for De Bruyne, is found. Back to Hullet, waiting for that push. He is onside, the shot put on, and that is a beautiful finish by Ronaldo.
It's the first goal of the game for Tex, the first game of the tournament for Liverpool, and it's Ronaldo putting it into the back of the net. The pass across goal, and that is, well, it was just perfectly timed. It was a late timing on the offside trap from Painter, and he punished him.
I was thinking for a moment, Painter changes his career. He looked like a bricklayer. He built up a wall in defence, but unfortunately not. Tex brings the sledgehammer, knocks it all down. It's only a single goal, but I mean, when we're looking at such a possession-heavy game like this, we're not expecting high scorers, are we?
No, we're not really. We're not. I mean, I expect this one to be a 2-1 or 1-0, 1-1 kind of game. But obviously we go to the second leg after this one, so if it does go in at level pegging, then we'll go to the second game on aggregate score. But yeah, I feel like both these teams obviously, both these teams are obviously top players. They're top players. They're so good at defending. Like you said, Painter's being a brick wall at the back, but he needs to do what his name says. He needs to be a bit of a painter. He needs to turn into an artist, and he needs to start creating some chances going forward.
He's getting locked out as soon as he gets into the back quarter. When he gets into any position where he could try and throw the ball into the mid, Tex is just easily dispossessed. He's getting really quick on the aggression to try and get those tackles on in, and Painter just isn't ready for that. Now, do we start to see, I don't know, a little bit more of a rush from Painter, trying to bring, whip in the ball? Like we said, cross is not strong, but the German cross might be pulled out. We're expecting to see that quite a fair bit this weekend, and trying to rush it into the box instead of allowing Tex to build up that defense.
Yeah, I think the problem is with the German crosses and stuff like that. These players have been seeing this for months now.
True.
They've been seeing it for a while. They know how to counter it by now, or they should do at least. It is difficult to counter, so don't get me wrong. We might see a couple, but I don't expect to see too many. But if we're talking about goals, I'm expecting to see some finesse goals from outside the box, honestly. We saw Tex trying to set it up before he got his first goal, and obviously played it in behind. It looks like Painter's coming forward here. Ronaldo running into the box. There is a player in the middle. Hullet cuts it out. Schmeichel will come to collect it, and well defended from Tex there to defend his lead.
You could see a big puff out of the chest there from Tex. He was stressed at that moment. Painter is doing a little bit of mental damage, but not doing any damage to the scoreline. But if he can keep it up, if he can keep that pressure, those little opportunities, make good on them, he might be able to tie things up. As De Bruyne on the ball for Tex, throwing this down along the wing. Rashford, is he going to be able to find a pass, maybe even a cross, taking it inroads? Roberto Firmino, good little interception.
Yeah, good interception from Bobby Firmino. Nice to see. I'm not actually sure where he's playing. It looks like he's playing at CDM, coming that far
Interesting,
backwards.
yeah, position for him.
No, I think he's playing a bit further forward. But in all seriousness, I think Tex is playing really, really well in this game here. He's finding a lot of chances, but he's also going to have to defend here. As obviously you see the press coming out. 3 players pressing you at once. It's impossible to do anything. You need to just go backwards. And that's what Tex does so well. He forces the opponent to go back. He forces the momentum out of his opponent's favour. And then he takes the ball in these situations. Can't keep it in, though.
So it's going to be all on Painter here from the throw-in. Then marked. Goes back to James. Back to Bobby Firmino. Kante. James. Oh, that's a beautiful run along the wing. He's got to take it inwards. He's got to be able to find a man instead. Recycling it back towards the mid. Back to Kante. Bobby Firmino looking for nice little finesse passes along, but what a block out by Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, even though you're getting behind in those situations and it looks like a great pass, which it was a great pass, the defending from Tex is just too good. The AI drops back. All the players get back in position so fast, and it's so difficult to capitalise on any of these opportunities against these top players, and we'll have to see if Painter can do it. As Tex comes forward again, as he wants to increase this lead. He really needs to increase this lead as Rashford's on the overlap. Going to just stand still, wait to see what the opponent does. De Bruyne gets some space. Going to look for the shot maybe. No. Is it to Ronaldo? Flip-flap. De Bruyne on the ball once again, and Yeah, this is just the doctor's orders here. He's just passing the ball around, waiting for the perfect opportunity.
Far from it with that one, unfortunately. That's an easy pickup for Painter. Yeah, just getting aware of it. Back to Hollett, and Ruben Diaz keeping a hold. Where does Painter go with this ball? You can see that Tex is getting a little bit more spread out on his defense, trying to just cover as much space as possible and not closing down as quickly. Saying that, he still feels rapid.
Oh,
still feels suffocating. That, though, is not going to come to fruition. Schmeichel, a stellar goalkeeper.
What a pass through. Those are exactly the kind of passes that Painter needs to be seeing through on goal. And he, I can say he needs to be taking those opportunities, but the goalkeeper's made an absolutely wonderful save. There's nothing you can do about that. Doesn't matter what kind of shot you take. It doesn't matter. The goalkeeper just did so well. And obviously, Tex brought the goalkeeper out there. What can you say? Tex is playing really well, but we are starting to see these holes open up in behind. We're starting to see Painter get a few more opportunities.
You can see there, Tex questioning himself a little bit. How does he play? He wants to change things up. He can feel the pressure from Painter. Not going for a substitution, but just a little bit of a change in orders going into the attack.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if that can help him. Coutinho going to be coming on for Painter, which I do like to see. St. Maximin, is that the fantasy St. Maximin? It should be, and what a card that is. De Bruyne going to come on too. There's a chance for De Bruyne as soon as he comes on. I think he was looking for the pass there, I'm not sure, but De Bruyne going to intercept either way, and De Bruyne going to be chasing him. Tex runs out of play. I'm not too sure what happened there, but,
he's gone back on his foot.
Yeah, I think some changes definitely need to come out defensively. Roberto Firmino going to come on. We've got them boosted defensive stats. A very nice card.
So was that just a genius mental play from Tex? See what Painter does, what he does to, which players he subs out, and then Tex is now adjusting accordingly.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think you've got to do that. You've got to be patient in these kind of situations and wait and see what your opponent does. And although, you can't wait forever to bring your subs on, it is a very, very smart idea to wait for your opponent to bring his subs on. Maybe let one attack go through, see how he's going to play defensively. Yeah, I think it's very smart from Tex there, and it's definitely showing just how smart he is and how experienced he is in these situations. But so Maximin coming forward with the ball did have a good opportunity there to run forward, but like I've said already, the defences get back so fast, the players get back into position, and it's so difficult to counter-attack against these teams.
Rashford, they will find men back, taking it across all the way to Tomiyasu. Pull it. Back to Rashford. Players line up. Opportunities are opening themselves. Painter, you can feel a little bit of stress, but that was an easy step in for James all the way over towards Kante.
Oh, no.
What a pickup. No.
Kante threw the ball away. Oh, dear.
No.
I'm not too sure what happened with Tex there.
He's muddled the paint. That's it. He's mixed them up and all he's got is a murky colour. Muddy almost. Looking to recycle this one back around and find routes into the attack. But Painter here, as time is ticking away, has got to be feeling stressed. 9 minutes left on the clock. 8 now. And he needs to get that equaliser.
Yeah, he does. He needs to start moving about it. He maybe needs to switch up the tactics and try and force something to happen, but we'll have to see how many players he's got in the box. I don't know if there's anything more he can throw forward, to be honest. Bullet, though, with Kante, trying to find someone in the middle, find some Maximin, and he's going to need something special here. He's going to need some individual skill, something. Bullet gives it back to Kante, back to Hullet, and Roberto Firmino will make the interception, and Tex can take the ball away. And see, in this situation, Tex should be closing out the game. He should be holding on to the ball, slowing things down, and he's been in the game a long while. He knows what to do in these situations. We'll have to see if he does close the game out, but you can see he's starting to slow the play down, hold it at the back, and 100% the right decision to make.
He's done his part. He's got the lead. He just then has to hand it on over towards Diogo and say, right, you're a goal up. You can either play defensively, hold on to that lead, probably go on, get that second goal, but you don't have to be so risky. You can just play it safe, and we've got the win.
Exactly that, and as we are ticking on into the 90th minute, one additional minute of added time. Tex is going to come forward, maybe try to get one last shot, but That should be the full-time whistle when the ball crosses the line. And Liverpool with a 1-0 win against Burnley.
It wasn't Leicester City.
Leicester City. Sorry, my apologies.
I was looking at you go, eh?
My brain went all weird. I do apologise.
Handshakes, of course, loads of respect between these players as the next duo step on up. And, of course, throw on over to the PlayStation, over onto the PS5. Looking at that match, it wasn't an explosive start to the day, but heck, was it a mental start of the day. Both players having to just be so strong in their mental capabilities to be able to lock that down. And big respect to Tex there. I thought he'd be looking to be more dominant in the opening start of the day, but no, just knowing that the job in front of him is to hand this on over towards Diogo and put him into a stronger position. Yeah,
well, the thing for Brad was he coming into this game, playing against Tex, you know that he's going to play this kind of football. He's going to hold the ball, he's going to be slow with it, he's going to be patient, and that's exactly what you've got to expect coming into the game. So keeping that mental level head, obviously going into the games later on, you need to keep it. You need to keep your head, and obviously it's not over yet. It's not over, because going into the second game, Diogo's got a chance to obviously win it for Liverpool, and obviously Josh has his chance to come back and be that hero for Leicester.
So write it down on our sheet. 1-0 on aggregate going into the second match between Diogo and Cosmin. And like we said earlier, Cosmin was the one we were looking at who seemed quietly confident, looking ready to close out these matches. What does Diogo have to do? He's in a better position, should be going into his high spirits and just play his own game. He doesn't have to chase this match, does he?
No, not at all. I feel like he can, play his game. He needs to be patient, stay calm, stay cool, and then obviously see if he can, take the game away. But this is Cosmin's chance to really put his name in the books here and put his name on the books for Leicester.
So whilst the players get themselves set up, we're just going to head on over the break. We'll be back with the second leg after this. back with the second leg here for the first match of the day. Liverpool versus Leicester City. The first leg on the Xbox side of things between Tex and Painter, going 1-0 in Tex's favour.
Exactly, indeed it is. And, going into that first game, I wasn't expecting Painter to do too well. Obviously, you're coming up against Tex. He's one of the best players in the game. He's so good at what he does, and he's really good at closing out games. It's pretty much what he's renowned for, other than doing ridiculous amounts of skills when he first broke onto the scene. Now, coming into the second game, Diogo versus Josh. I'm very excited for this one. I feel like Josh can really pick it up for his team here.
Yeah, Diogo coming in as the semi-finalist last year, so everyone here knows how to play a game, so that's a silly statement, but still knows how to go deep with these tournaments to be able to handle the pressure. But Cosmin on the other side, like I said, man looked quietly confident there, just vibing to some music already, waiting to get on into this match. Indeed we are, and I'm ready to go, but yeah, I do apologise, I had some of the names down wrong. Either way, Cosmin, coming into this game, I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. Cosmin, obviously we spoke about him. He's got that swagger. He's cool, calm, he's collected. And, it's going to be a hard game. It's the ePremier League finals. It's going to be a hard game for him. But you can see the way he goes about himself, the way he handles himself. Exactly. Yeah. He's very confident. And I feel like coming into this game, that confidence could be really good for him, or it could be really bad for him. Because if it goes 1-0 down, that confidence, does it hit rock bottom, or does he keep going? Does he keep that keep going mentality? I think at the moment where it's only a single goal, you can hold yourself up. That's not too big of an issue. I mean, it is straightforward, the smallest losing margin for him to get into the series. So he'll just look at that and go, all right, that just means I've got to score one extra goal. Easy peasy. And that's the sort of way he acts. And that's awesome as a player to have that much confidence to back yourself. I think Painter had the more difficult task to lead off. The very first match of the day, the very first series, not only that you're playing, but, that out of any of these teams. Over in the background, we've got Everton, we've got Burnley looking at this. We've got Man City as well, just thinking, okay, how are these guys playing? There's so many eyes, so much pressure on those two lads. Coming into the second match, there's, of course, still going to be an insane amount of pressure, but it's been alleviated a little bit because they weren't first. Yeah, I feel like going into this match, I feel like Diogo has to prove right now why he got to where he got to in the tournament. He needs to clutch up. This is a very clutch situation where, you haven't got a massive lead to hold. It's only 1-0. He needs to go in there and go at it straight away. He can't defend. He needs to get the first goal. He needs to get the first goal. We talked about it. It was like, do you defend or do you try and fight and come back from behind? I feel like he needs to really fight now. He can't think, I've got a 1-0 lead. I feel like you've just got to go into the mentality of it's a completely fresh game. And for Cosmin, he's the underdog. That's 100%. He's 1-0 down. He's got to come up with some magic here. Cosmin, of course, making it to that joint 9th to 16th position last year. So, knows what level competition was last time around, but this year looking to go above and beyond. Heck, even maybe even steal the place that Diego got last time. But you look at, let's see, like you said, that confidence. Painter being a little bit more mild in the way he talks, but Cosmin there, you can see calculating. I feel Leicester City have got that in the back of their minds that they can go the whole way to the grand finals. They back themselves to have that capability, whereas Liverpool, the difference is that everyone's expecting them to make it that entire distance, and it's a whole different dynamic between those. We see the players getting ready, phone goes down, controller into the hands. Any moment now we'll be getting underway. Last few wipes of the heat pack, whatever they use, and a sip of water for Cosmin. And he's ready to go. He's got his friends behind him. He's got his coach and teammate behind him. Let's see how he gets on against Diogo. Liverpool versus Leicester. This should be another fantastic game. We're underway. Let's see with the kickoff. Back to Rashford, all the way out wide. Rashford in the center as well, Vieira. And you can see once again a game of possession, easily maneuvering this one around Cosmin. Nice little ball towards the center. Hold it. What can he find from here? Just pulling out Diogo's midfield, tearing them to pieces. But what a pick-up by Sancho.
Yeah, really good tackle there by Sancho. Hullet spots the ball in behind, but can't find him that time.
Space.
There is a lot of space at the minute, but I think it will tighten up as we obviously get deeper into the game. 5 minutes in right now. De Bruyne with the ball coming forward, back heel to Hullet. And you can see that defence is quite tight, quite narrow, but there's a chance for St. Maximin. Vieira intercepts the pass. Ruben Diaz will just clear it out, get it clear, and the pause will come out. I'm not too sure what Cosmin's, he seems to have a bit of an issue, but obviously 6 minutes in so far, Cosmin had the first chance, and he was coming forward, looked good, but Diogo defended well.
So, I have to just see what settings are being changed on up here. Or if it's something to do with the monitor, perhaps, for Cosmin. As you can see, he's pulled in one of the admins there. 60 seconds to figure that on out. Should be tons of time. I mean, Painter's already experienced it, so be an interesting little call. And would love to be able to see what exactly was up.
Mic up the players.
Yeah, I would love to have mics there, but of course it'd just be a lot of like yelling at each other. But I'd say half the time, the other time it'd just be dead silence. You saw in that last match between Tex and Painter, they just nothing. It was rock solid, stone cold.
Well, in some of the ePremier League playoffs that we did, obviously we did Wolves together. There was a few of them where they had the Premier League streams coming in, and some of the chats, they had the Premier League, they had the mics of the players still on, and they were talking, and it was like sometimes they had friends in the call, and sometimes it wasn't particularly PG, but either way, hopefully Cosmin's getting his problems sorted. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's something to do with his controller.
Remember with the Wolves one, when you go on over towards the, our servers over into like Discord and TeamSpeak and such, and just when the match is underway, they are the fiercest rivals. They are bitter enemies, but after that, best friends. It is an entirely wholesome scene. As we get back underway, it'll be Diogo to pick up and run it off.
That was some good sportsmanship by Cosmin, because they were having a little chat while his controller. Great sportsmanship. And that just goes back to what I said. It's such a tight-knit community. The players know each other quite well, and it's good to see. It's good to see. But either way, Cosmin obviously looking to try and assert himself on this game, and we'll have to see if Diogo can continue to go forward.
And now wide, switching on over towards James Hullet. Trying to keep control of this with Diogo. De Bruyne. Does he have a man to receive it? You can see trying to run it down the wing, but no one there to step forward. And that Rudiger card coming back into it. As we said, the beautiful header. Van der Sar to pick up in the end. That was a glimmer of hope.
Our first German cross. There it is. Ball being whipped in. Hullet couldn't quite deal with it, but the pass across was amazing. Goalkeeper did so well, and as we can see, Cosmin just about able to get himself back and regain the possession and start to come forward himself. Obviously, João Cancelo, Team of the Year card, one of the best cards, gets a perfect link to Ruben Diaz as well. And I feel like we're going to be seeing similar teams most of today, but maybe a little bit of change here and there.
St. Maximin, found with João Cancelo. Cross into the centre, Hullet. Not able to finish off, just over the bar. Maybe Van der Sar.
I'll be honest, Hullet should have won that.
He should.
That should have been a goal. But Cosmin is getting ready. He's warming up here. He's definitely getting involved, and that's what we want to see. I don't want to see Diogo just having all of the ball, having all of the chances. I want to see Cosmin start to bite back and start to get some chance of his own.
Nice little back pass to De Bruyne there. Hullet not going to move, just trying to pass this around, wait for a player in the box to step forward. Little impasse, perhaps. Hullet. Oh, nice little trick move, but not going to be able to do any damage. Ronaldo stands strong out to James, and look at them already on the counter.
Cheeky little roulette from Hullet. Obviously, some of the players, I think it was a little media day thing. The players spoke about what their favourite skill move was, and there was quite a few of them that said the roulette. Chance, Ronaldo. Ruben Diaz does so well to get the ball away from him, and well defended once again by Diogo, but yeah, fantastic defending.
I'd say the roulette was in the minority, as many elasticos and reverse elasticos, but the roulette enjoyers were definitely there, sort of trying to. I would argue show that it's a classic for a reason.
It is a classic. It's a, you know, it doesn't matter what FIFA you play, that the roulette was there. Well, obviously not if you go too far back, but chance for an
back on the N64, like, oh, why can't I do this?
Exactly. Why can't I do my reverse fake elastico cancel? But either way, you know, 30 minutes into this game, it's been fairly close, to be fair. Both players getting chances, though. Diogo wins the ball back. St. Maximin, there is an overlap and run coming forward. Sancho on the ball. Can he get it onto that foot? Ronaldo finds the back of the net. Diogo takes the 1-0 lead and increases it to 2-0 for Liverpool.
Liverpool going to be all smiley, happy faces. Look at Tex in the background, definitely enjoying and appreciating the work of his teammate there as we get back onto the pitch. The job has just got even more difficult for Cosmin, who is looking confident, but now he's really got to put his foot to the floor and get going.
Yeah, he needs to put the pedal to the metal right now because 2-0 down, not too long to go. He's got about 60 minutes of in-game time left to go, and obviously playing against a top player, they know how to defend. They can sit back, they can get that brick wall going. Look how many players are in that back line. There's about 10 players in that back line just waiting, and the offside trap's coming out to get them all compressed together. But we'll have to see if Cosmin's got what it takes.
Well, it's an obvious strap, but will it be effective? Only time will tell. St. Maximin Vieira looking to just play off each other, pull out a defender, or actually in this case a midfielder, and try and get a route on in, but nothing found. Sancho out to James, keeping good possession of this ball right now, Diogo.
It's so difficult to do anything, though. He's trying to bring the ball forward, trying to move it a bit faster, coming forward, but it's so difficult to do that when this defence is so compact, and Diogo just pulls one player into the way. It's so difficult for Cosmin to really do anything going forward, but there's still plenty of time in this game. He's still got a chance in this one, but as soon as he gets that chance, he really needs to take it.
You can see just trying to wind this one up as Sancho with the interception straight to Vieira. Rashford found by Hollett. De Bruyne getting in the way and actually picking up on the ball here, putting it all the way out to Ginola out wide. João Cancelo found by Ruben Diaz. And again, Diogo just to hold on to possession of this.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of Ginola so far today, to be fair. Obviously, we've only seen one game so far. We didn't see him in the first game, but obviously we're seeing him now on side of Diogo and not opting for that Rashford card. I'm not sure why, whether it doesn't play into his into the restrictions or whatever, but either way, still incredible card. Chance for Ronaldo in the box. There is plenty of players in the way. Twist and turn, but Vieira makes the tackle, gets the ball back, and it's going to be the half-time whistle being blown where Diogo will take the 1-0 lead against Cosmin.
You can see the conversation starting here. 2 goals down. Cosmin with 45 minutes of in-game time left. Where does he go? You have got to be digging deep here. Liverpool, of course, favourites not only of Group B, but, arguably of the tournament. There'll be a lot of little counterpoints and all of that, but Liverpool will be backing themselves here. Leicester City, if they can make the comeback, even to tie it on out here, George, that would be a heavy blow, wouldn't it?
It really would be. It would be one of the biggest upsets of the tournament, and I feel like Tex and Diogo have done so well so far, though, at restricting the play that Leicester actually get, restricting the amount of possession they get, the amount of shots they get. Painter and Cosmin together have probably had something like 4 shots, something like that. It's not been a lot, I'll tell you that. Coming into the second half, Cosmin needs to throw everything at it now. It is all or nothing time, and although you're 2-0 down on aggregate, I feel like you just need to go for it.
Already going for it is Diogo here. Slow progression upfield, found by De Bruyne. Oh, nice little tricks. Layoff towards Hollett. Out wide to James. No one really to step up. There is the pass towards the box. St. Maximin going to go for the shot, though. Looking to recycle it around. Looking for that opening. Cancelo going to be able to find it on out. Found by Rashford. Then Ronaldo. All the way out to St. Maximin, but too slow here. Had to run with that. And unfortunately, you can see the midfield already pushed back. Liverpool via Diogo ready for this attack here.
Cosmin, ball whipped into the middle. Van der Sar comes out, collects it. It's a really good save from the goalkeeper, the icon. And just going back to that attack, obviously Diogo coming forward, getting the chance for St. Maximin. The problem is with FIFA players, these top FIFA players, they want that 100% opportunity.
Yeah.
They're not going to take a 50-50. They're not going to take a shot at the near post when, you know, they're not 100% it's going to go in. They want to get that pass across goal, that open net opportunity, and that's the problem. It's a bit of a bad moment at times.
Went out towards the opposite side towards James, but I don't know. We've only, 5 opportunities for both Cosmin and Painter collectively? You've got to be up in those chances, otherwise you're not going to be able to get anything of it. The back pass to Hullet, just waiting for someone to pass on to. He is found by Ronaldo. Nice little pass on down, but unfortunately João Cancelo getting in the way.
Yeah, great block once again from the defender, finding the block and keeping Cosmin in this game. Needs to come forward fast, needs to find something in behind here. And as you can see though, Diogo once again just restricting the amount of play. He's got a very narrow team, so he's allowing Cosmin to get down these wings. But once he gets down these wings, he's using that press and he's doing the manual defending to the point where there's nothing down there for him. He can't get into the box. He can't do anything. We'll see if he can do something here. St. Maximin whipping it into the middle. Sancho plays it across the box, and somehow it does not get across the line. Van der Sar again keeping it off.
Van der Sar has been massive for Diogo here with 2 phenomenal saves, stopping Cosmin from tying this one up. St. Maximin cut in by Vieira, an easy one there. Ruben Diaz getting blocked out by Hullet. Beautiful little pass up. Still onside here. Ronaldo not going to be able to do any damage, but Sancho keeping the contention alive. Sancho as well picking that on up. There should be a runaway by Cosmin, try and get downfield.
Indeed. And how has he not scored that? You know, I get it. You're 2-0 up, right? You're trying to look for the guaranteed opportunity. Would it hurt to be 3-0 up? There's still a chance that Cosmin can come back here. I feel like that was a tiny bit disrespectful, but I get it. I get it. He's looking for the 100% opportunity, but either way, there's a chance for Cosmin. No, Rashford.
Too late.
James gets the tackle in, gets the ball away. That would have been such a great opportunity for Cosmin. But these chances are starting to come now. He's starting to get more and more. Let's see if he can get that goal. Once he gets that goal, the tides are going to turn.
Well, with only 20 minutes left, you've got to get aggressive. You've got to get angry. A pick up by Rashford. Look at the run this. The through ball not going to connect. Ruben Diaz getting in the way. Beautiful save there by Diogo.
You can understand the frustration from Cosmin. You could see what he was trying to do. I'm not too sure if he was looking for the ball over the top maybe, but either way, just didn't come off in the end. And I feel like he's playing well. I feel like he's getting a lot of opportunities, but just that last shot. But it might come here. Rashford throwing goal. St. Maximin in the middle. Going to take it out wide because he doesn't have much space, and it will go behind for a corner kick, and the pause will come out and some potential changes.
With the corner, there is an opportunity, and you can see, just inspecting the stats here, where can he change things up? Coming in with the subs, changing a couple of formations. And I've got, where does Cosmin go? Time is running out. It's got to be an all-or-nothing strategy because whilst, yes, the goal line, goal differential will come in play, you've got to be looking first and foremost to just try and hammer it out, get 2 goals here and go for that draw.
I think we're seeing the view of Diogo right here, and you can see what he's doing, bringing on Vieira. He's got Henry on the bench, and some incredible teams. But I do think that for Diogo right now, he just needs to defend. He just needs to hold out and do the best he can.
So I've just had it from our producer right here, Cosmin with no changes. That's I don't know if bold, because of course NG is a big factor. Oh, we did just see one change, sorry. Actually, Mane coming on for, and Cantona for James. Okay. Thank you, producer Aaron. You have lied to me, and my trust issues are now even worse.
But either way, 78 minutes into this game, Leicester still yet to get a goal. Are they going to get one before the series is over? Are they going to get a goal in this series at all? That is the question to be asked. Cosmin, obviously, we know he's made some changes now. Are they going to pay dividends, or are they going to do nothing for him?
10 minutes left. The error in the centre, picked up by Hullet. Got to be looking for opportunities, putting players a little bit more out on the wing.
Lovely.
Beautiful pass in towards Ronaldo. That's Cosmin back in the the action.
That is the goal that he needed to get back in this game, and that is exactly when he needed it. Ronaldo smashing into the back of the net. But don't get me wrong, it was all about Alan St-Maximin there. The scoop turn into the pass across goal. That is a hope, a bit of hope, a tiny little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for Leicester. Can they get back in this game as they're coming forward again?
St-Maximin back towards Hollett, and you can feel the energy pick up for Cosmin. Wayne again trying to send players downfield, give himself opportunities to push up. And well, players are starting to form there for him. So that's found by Hollett once again.
See, the thing is, for Liverpool right now, for Diogo, he's already set all his tactics to the most defensive he can go, and Cosmin just got a goal. What does that mean? It means that Diogo's got nothing left to defend on. He knows how to break him down now. The question is, can he do it? Can he put it into the practical sense?
Fortunately, Mane not able to find anything from there, so taking it back to the midfield line, but time is ticking. Well, even with extra time, you're probably looking at 3 more in-game minutes here, George.
Indeed we are. Vieira coming forward with the ball, though, gives it to Hullett, and he's going to be patient. 90 minutes, we've got 1 minute of added time. He needs to take this now. Hullett gives it to Rashford. Rashford on the ball, coming forward, and the foul is going to come out. I'm not too sure what for, but that's going to be the end of the game, and Liverpool are going to take the win. They had to hold on there. They did just that. Diogo clutching up for the team. Tex and Diogo are going to get the win. Liverpool are going to get the win, and it will end 2-1 here. Liverpool versus Leicester.
I'm pretty sure it's pretty scary at that final portion for a lot of Liverpool fans, thinking it could have just all snowballed out of control. But George, big props. It shows that both Diogo and Tex have got that experience to hold on, and Cosmin, I think he is a dark horse here today. That was a moment of brilliance from him.
Yeah, he played really well. I think one of the things coming into this tournament that he had, he's just got a never say die attitude, which is fantastic. But obviously coming up against Tex and Diogo, they're two of the, well, obviously Diogo last year got to the semi-final. Tex and Diogo, two of the best players in the world. So are Painter and Cosmin, but they just had that edge. I think they had that experience edge on them. I feel like they just took it in that sense. The defending from Tex in the first leg, and then obviously Diogo, he took his game 1-1. You know, it was a draw in the 90 minutes. So although he played absolutely fantastically, I think Cosmin still needs to be happy with himself there. He still needs to be happy that he took Diogo to the 90 minutes. He drew, he did his part. Now, the question is, going into the other games, they're going to do quite well, I think.
Yeah. So, Liverpool, with the first match of the day going in their way, they're currently sitting on 3 points. Leicester City, they'll have to go away and lick their wounds, but I look at a team that have got that dedication and can make it back. It's only 1 match out of 4 to play. We could be seeing this whole table flip on its head by the end of the day. Probably not Liverpool, we think. Again, strongest team looking there. But guys at home, like we said, that's 1 down, 9 to go. Next up on your screens is going to be Burnley versus Everton. You're not going to want to miss it. Make sure to head back after this break. folks, we're moving on into the second series of the day. It's going to be Burnley versus Everton here on the ePremier League finals. We're in the group stages, of course, looking at Group B. I'm Digital Bacon, otherwise known as Corey Dye, and this is George Overton. George, that first series between Liverpool and Leicester, an absolute belter, wasn't it? A little bit more of a quiet, possessive game, but still, the mental gymnastics the players were going through was exhilarating.
Yeah, the first game, obviously, Tex had it pretty under control for the most part. You know, he took the 1-0 lead, defended it well. You called him a brick wall on numerous occasions. I think you called Painter a brick wall on numerous occasions.
Not Tex, but yes.
And Diogo versus Cosmin. Well, Diogo took the lead early, and then obviously at half-time, Cosmin started going forward more, he started pushing more, and then we saw him get that goal really late on, and he just couldn't get enough to bring it level in the end. But what a fantastic game, and I think that shows just how competitive Leicester want to be. I feel like we'll see them fighting for that top, you know, those top two places at the end of the day.
But let's put them to the side for the moment. We'll be seeing Liverpool in the next series on the match, but right now we want to draw attention to Burnley and Everton. Callum and Jas of Everton, then Brad and Josh from Burnley. And here, this is sort of like a question mark for us. Looking at these two teams, definitely Jas, you know, has been here before. We saw him play last year. But the question mark is, can they make it into the top two position? We look at Group B, being the group of death, like we said before, Liverpool, with names about them, should be making on through, but that second position, as top two from each group do go on into the single Olympic playoffs tomorrow. Who is going to take it? We were looking probably to Man City being the favourites for that second spot, but you've got both Everton, Burnley, and of course Leicester saying, no. That's our spot, or you know, top is our spot. Anything is open. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, and they are going to take it all.
Look, I think that it's going to be between Liverpool and Man City for the top spot, but then the second spot, I do feel like any of the other four teams can compete for it. I really do. I believe that Burnley, Everton, and Leicester all have players in that team that are good enough to do it. I feel like Everton and Leicester are probably more likely than Burnley, but I feel like the likely result is Liverpool and City, but we'll have to see.
It's funny, talking to the other casters, and we're all there going like, Burnley are the wild cards. We don't know.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
Like, Burnley are probably if you make predictions at the bottom of the group, but then it's like, are you sure about that? Like, it really is flip a coin sort of scenario here. And that's why we're all looking at this match to really get a gauge of these two teams. Because, heck, if I'm looking to that last series, I reckon every other team is looking at Liverpool and going, that's 2-1. It's possible to take down Liverpool. That's too close a comfort.
Yeah, but you've got Painter and Cosmin. They're two very, very well established, very high level players. They're great at what they've done. They've been around a while, and I feel like 2-1 is a fair result. I feel like, considering the lineups, Tex, Diogo, Painter, Cosmin, I feel like it's a fair result. 2-1. I feel like that's what I expected, and that's actually, isn't that what I said when we first started? I said I feel like it's got a 2-1 game in it. Yeah, I did.
That's fair. Well done. Well done. Because at the same time, whilst it being 2-1, it was very much controlled by both Tex and Diogo.
It really was. I
mean, 6 opportunities in total there for both Painter and, of course, Cosmin together. That's not a lot. And I wouldn't say it was only 2 for Painter, to be honest.
But I will say, I don't feel like Tex and Diogo had that much more than 6, because I don't feel like you get really that many chances in these FIFA games, especially coming up against these players. They're so good at defending, you just don't get any chances at all. They constrict you, they control the game in the way that they want you to play. We saw Diogo playing, we saw Tex playing. He wanted Painter to go down the wings, right? He wanted him to play down the wings, and then when he got to that wing, there was 3 players pressing him. 3. How do you? I was
going to say that because a lot of people are going to be. Oh, Everton apparently have got a controller issue. That's what the hold-up is here right now for you guys at home. But I was going to say, it might feel harsh only saying like getting 6 opportunities, but that's because in FIFA 22 we don't consider it getting to the edge of the box on the wing as an opportunity just yet, because crossing it into the center is just not a safe, not a reliable way. Like we always say with these players, they want a 100% surefire opportunity. Crossing into the box, you've got more chance of actually just handing the ball on over to one of the numerous defenders in there. So you want to step it on in, walk it on in if you can, which you're not just going to be able to. You want a low, either driven cross or a pass realistically in towards the center, and then just a dead-on kick at the goalie, and then that's not easy when we saw Van der Sar absolutely stepping up in that last series.
Yeah, and obviously coming into this game, we talk about the players enough, but I want to really quickly talk about the coaches, or specifically the coach. Excuse me, the coach of Everton, Jambu. He's a very well-established FIFA player. He's been around for a very long while. If you're a big fan of the scene, you'll know Jambu. Currently signed to SMPR, West Ham United, played in the ePremier League plenty of times. He's one of the top players, and I've seen him. I think I've known him for about 3 or 4 years now, and he is a fantastic lad, and he's a great player and a fantastic coach as well. He does a lot of coaching outside of teams and stuff like that. Helps players that aren't necessarily professional players right now, which I think is fantastic, and it's definitely something that's started to come into FIFA more and more now, is coaches. And obviously FIFA analyst doing one of the other groups is commentating here as well, another fantastic coach, and there's so many of them now, and you see it in a lot of the other esports, but you don't tend to see it so much here in FIFA, and it's great to see.
I was going to say, that's the interesting part here, because whilst we look at these Premier League clubs, of course, stepping up, these guys outside of these clubs, outside of these teams, are also involved in numerous different orgs. Looking at Liverpool previously with Tex and Diogo, Power Fnatic, of course, and some of the biggest names within the esports scene. Here with Semper coming on through, looking to be a fully British org as well. Easy pick up for them with these players, of course, and looking to really bolster and nurture the talent here outside of this one singular tournament, looking into the other spaces. But as we look at these guys just trying to sort out their tech issues, thinking at this for the starting match here, Brad and Callum looking at it, very little to separate these two players, isn't there?
Yeah, there really is. Obviously, I feel like Callum's a really good player. I feel like, especially with Jambu's coaching, I feel like he can really reach new levels here. And obviously, Jazz he's been around for a long while. He's a very well-known player. He's represented City. I think he's represented quite a few clubs in the Premier League. And I feel like, especially with, two veteran minds and then Callum, I feel like this could be a potential team that is a dark horse and could potentially come up and reach that second spot. And I personally think that could happen. I think that Everton could really play into this narrative and be a dark horse here.
Well, headphones are on, and we're onto the pitch. It's going to be Burnley over towards the left-hand side. Of course, we get the lovely nature of wearing all home kits here. Everton sporting the blues. Nice little start here. Just nice, calm, cool, collected, controlled game coming on out from Brad for Burnley.
It's a slow start. You don't want to go into it fully
You're
aggressive.
Seeing your opponent, aren't you? Just seeing how they respond to it. Are they going to get aggressive in your face, or are they going to give you the space?
Exactly, and it does look like he's going to get a little bit of space here, but can't do too much with it, Brad, as Callum gets the ball away, but having to defend with it. And yeah, I feel like early knock into the game, you want to take things slow. You want a slow start. You don't want to have too many holes, and you don't want to really get punished for that.
Because, of course, we've got the player perspectives. We're looking at Brad's here, and I'm just like, this camera's way too low, buddy. I prefer a much higher camera, don't you?
Oh, chance, though. So Maximin wins the ball back, but the defenders all rush back and see that it's a little bit of a dangerous opportunity, but Callum will regain the ball, and we'll have to see what kind of tactics this man uses, because he's got it in the bag. Ronaldo covered forward. What's he doing? Nobody knows. He's twisting and turning all over the place, but Brad can come forward now, plays the ball over the top. Ronaldo's used that burst of pace, but James does really well.
Yeah, just running a little bit too far there. Not going to be able to win that opportunity. Mahrez and pull it in the centre. Going to work this out. Back through the defence with Rudiger. James. And again, this slow pace. Just waiting, building, looking for that space. Fortunately, no space right there.
Riyad Mahrez is an interesting pickup for me. I think that's an interesting card to use. I feel like, I'm not too sure why he's. I mean, maybe he likes it. Maybe he likes the five-star skill moves. I think that card's got 5-star weak foot as well. I'm not 100%. There is a run in behind though. St. Maximin, you can see it. It's a great run, and it's an AI-controlled run as well. It's really smart. St. Maximin whips it into the middle, but the cross was never really on. Van der Sar comes out, collects the ball, but that's a really good opportunity, and it's very smart to use the manual run.
A hopeful attempt, but you can see Sparks of creation coming on out from Callum here. On the opposite end, Brad, if he can find a goal right now, an opportunity, Maximin onside. I thought he was just squeaking off. Doesn't matter, Van der Sar can get his hands to that one.
It's a half chance bobbling around in the area. You need to be careful of those, though. Callum obviously doesn't want to go 1-0 down. I don't think anybody wants to go 1-0 down, really. 20 minutes into this game. I don't think there's really too much to separate either of these players. And I do just want to point out, you can see Rudiger on the pitch as well. So it is personal preference, really. I think Rudiger's playing for Callum as well, actually.
Yep.
So, yeah, you know, it's completely personal preference. We've got Reece James obviously playing at right back, Ruben Diaz, and, you know, interesting teams.
And, of course, here, within the rules, the players have, near enough, every single possibility at their hands. It's not like they've had to go and buy those cards themselves and then turn up with their own PS5s or their own accounts. No, they're playing on dedicated accounts where they have every single player back and call, as long as they fall within the certain parameters. Beautiful cross into the box, but it's just wide of the target. Vieira's going to be kicking himself for that one.
What a cross into the box. The German cross. I don't know where it's come from. Must have come from Germany, hence the name. But either way, Vieira couldn't put it in the back of the net. It was very close indeed. But I feel like that was the first golden opportunity, and that should have probably ended up in the back of the net. But we'll see if Callum can do more of the same. But I'm sure that is the kind of tactics that Jambu has been telling them to use as much as possible. And St. Maximin on the ball now. We're going to try and get the pass out, but he does find the interception. Sancho looks to the pass, intercepted by Sancho. And, yeah, Brad can come forward with the ball now. And Ronaldo, so strong, can just shrug off players so easily. Look at him go. He doesn't care how many players are on him. He's still going. Ronaldo down the wing. Nice little scoop turn, gets past one, and it does look like it's going to be a bit of a stalemate here. Sancho gives it to Hullet. Nice little La Croqueta, but can't find anything more.
Missed opportunity there for Brad. And Callum needs to make gold on it, get this ball downfield. Just show him how it's done, Vieira. Down by Hullet. Out wide on the wing. You could see he's playing with the AI tactics once again. This is an enticing prospect for him.
Oh, lovely La Croqueta to get past the midfielder. Mahrez gives it to Ronaldo. Ronaldo! Van der Sar with another fantastic save. Rebound to Hullet, but that one's going to go into the stands. The fans are going to have to try and catch that one, but really nice stuff from Callum.
Yeah, and the shot from Hullet, understandable, you know, catch the goalie off guard there, but unfortunately the defender was able to get a foot to it, knock it off, and, well, someone's going home with a ball this evening, so happy days.
The pause is going to come out 37 minutes into this game. I'm not too sure what changes are wanted to be made, but we'll have to see when it does come out. And Cancelo, that's going to be a foul, I should think. Yeah, it was a good fake shot, draws the foul, and the pause will come out. So we're going to see, I think it might be Brad that's making the changes.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's only just for tactics here.
Have a chat. Have a chat with his teammates.
No need for subs, you know, there's nothing really being lost. Get a little cheeky look, a little gander at the stats for us, and you're on a split right down the middle. The only difference you could argue is, you know, looking over Brad with an offside and 2 fouls, being a little bit more adventurous with his defence.
I think Callum's been really good going forward. I think he's been creative. He's been willing to play these German crosses, just force the situation. And I feel like that's the difference between him and Brad right now. Ball whipped into the middle and cleared away by Rudiger. Well played there. And this could be the first real chance for Brad to come forward. Really nice pass through. It's going to be Mahrez running through on goal. We're going to see if it's the reason why he picked this card. Lovely little turn. Finds Ronaldo in the middle. Back to Sancho. And what a play coming out from Brad. Finds the first goal of the game. That was his first shot, first goal. That's all he needs. Burnley take the lead.
Well, he had to dig deep into his magic hat, and he hasn't picked out a rabbit. It is a worldie of a goal. Look at this replay. You have got to be happy with that. Sancho going to be claiming first blood, and boy, oh boy. Well, we're the ones who are gushing at it, really.
True. I feel like if you're an Everton fan, you know, if you're supporting Callum and Jas, obviously it's going to be a hard goal to watch, because it's been Callum coming forward. It's been Callum getting these chances. It's been Callum holding on to the ball most of the match. But coming up against the run of play, Brad manages to find himself a goal, and now we've got to see if he can hold on to that.
Yeah, Everton's fans out there almost feeling like traitors for admiring that. Defense just holding on the back pass to Van der Sar. He's going to put it on out. Play him the first half. And get talking to that coach. Get talking to your teammate. What do you do with the rest of the 45 minutes?
Well, I mean, the start obviously is well played to Brad for going up against the run of play and finding the goal. Really well played to keep your head and keep in the game. But obviously, it's difficult, isn't it, for Callum, because he's been pressing, he's been forcing these opportunities, he's been finding the shots, but unable to find the goal as of yet. I feel like for Callum, he's just got to stick to his guns. He's just got to keep going for it, but try and be wary of that counter-attack, because it's happened a couple of times where that counter-attack's come through. It happened with Ronaldo, couldn't quite find the thing. Happened with Saint-Maximin, he found the goal. So just need to be wary of that for me.
Brad on the opposite end is just there like, I just make good on the opportunities. They will come. The defense is strong, but when there is that little slip up, you can make gold on it. So we head into the second half. Swap ends. Burnley 1-0 up. Everton having to pull this back. Just at least get it to you, the equaliser. And well then, hand it off to your teammate.
Here it is, coming forward, Callum very early on. Ronaldo finds the back of the net. He doesn't need any special tactics. He doesn't need anything. He just rockets it into the back of the net from kickoff.
I'm wondering there, Callum, what was the discussion there over towards Jazz? It was probably just saying, you're overthinking it, mate. Send it towards the net and you will find your answer. Equalised out through the power of Ronaldo. We have a match in our hands, folks.
We do indeed. And what a match it is so far. 1-1, 50 minutes, just getting started in the second leg and we're already leveled up again. Oh my word. And that's what I'm talking about though. Callum definitely has what it takes to break down Brad's defence. We've seen it on numerous occasions. We've seen him doing it and he has proven that here. But Brad can still come forward. Mahrez, nice little Ronaldo chop coming into the area. Does need to be careful here, Callum. Can't let him find Sancho. Does go back out to Kante. And it's a pause, brief moment of relief, but Ronaldo coming into the area. Rudiger with a great block, a great interception, and now Callum can look to come forward on his own.
Pull it. Found by Rudiger now, out towards James. Just trying to stall for a bit of time, evaluate the options in front of him. Mahrez back to Rudiger. Ruben Diaz. And well. After a quick turn of events, all tied on up. You can feel that confidence from Callum once again, especially with Sancho on the ball, not going to be able to get it past the defenders.
Here we go, Mahrez coming forward, playing that ball in behind. Ruben Diaz does well. Saint-Maximin, so strong, surprisingly strong actually. Twist and turn and 4 players on him. It's going to be difficult to keep the ball, but somehow he does. He's a bit of a magician, to be honest. And the ball will go the way of Callum. It will go the way of Everton. And they can look to clear it away now and get it safe. But this is the problem, that Brad's so good at counter-attacking, so good at and it's scary. It's actually terrifying, because on this FIFA, when you come forward, a lot of players tend to come forward, and it does tend to be quite scary, like the amount of players in behind. I feel like Brad's playing really well here.
Sancho, easily picked up by James. Nice little passing play, but Mahrez just going to get dispossessed. And it's back to Brad to find a route downfield. You can see he's calculating now. He's got the GPS. He's put in the destination. Is it going to be a bumpy road? Is it going to be smooth travels? Unfortunately not. That's a beautiful pickup by Saint-Maximin. Going to be able to just put a little pop shot, the pass towards centre? No, unfortunately, over the crossbar, dispossessed once again.
I appreciate it. He looked for the chip. He read time, finished it though. But, I appreciate it either way. It's cheeky and it didn't pay off, but maybe next time. You never know. Ball played over the top from Kante. These balls over the top are very dangerous. Brad's playing these balls over the top quite a lot, and Callum can't seem to find a way to counter play it, and that's just because these attackers that Brad has are so strong. Saint-Maximin, outrageous balance. Ronaldo, strong, has outrageous balance. It's terrifying. That ball played over the top again. It's Ronaldo. He's through on goal. Saint-Maximin is there with him. What's he going to do, though? Is he going to take the shot? He will. Straight at Van der Sar. Makes a save. Hullet wins a header. Ronaldo will be offside, and it will go for a free kick, and the pause will come out.
So what do we expect to see change up here 70 minutes into the game? So we look at Brad's perspective, taking off St. Maximin. Who's going to come on in place?
I don't even think he knows who's coming on.
He's looking at it going, Cantona? Maybe. Do I swap him with Ronaldo? Like, just swap the wings ends? No.
I don't like that Cantona card. I don't think it's that great. I'm not a huge fan myself. I've never used that.
I do like that Eto card, though.
That was some very, very hard sarcasm because I've never used that card.
You just haven't got to.
It's so expensive. It's so expensive. All these cards are so expensive. You have to either play the game a lot, and be very good at the game. Hit that elite division, or sorry, not that elite division. Hit that top 200, and it's hard. It's hard. Get to the elite division, hit the rank 1. It's difficult to do that, and obviously these players do, and that's why they can use these players. But look at that team, man.
Again, because we're playing on a LAN environment, and playing with these LAN accounts, they've got the world is their oyster. They've got every single card that is available to them. The only rules, is that they have to be Premier League players, or when you've got icon cards, haven't played in the Premier League, right? So
they probably have these kind of teams at home.
True. And I'm trying to step away from the fact because it just makes me sad. This is a whole load of copium on right now.
Very true. But either way, still 1-1 in this game. 72 minutes into it. It can go to the next leg, and obviously it will be down to Jazz and Josh to fight it out to see who can pick up the win for their team. But the German cross is going to come in. Van der Sar reads it, comes out. Well played from the Burnley man to call his goalkeeper out early and get the ball there.
Oh, James, so strong to be able to block that and then keep control of the ball, not allowing anyone from Burnley to take it away from him. Vieira. What does Callum have to do here to find a route to net? He's already found one goal. Looking for that second, and well, that's not the answer, unfortunately.
Slowed down a lot here, hasn't it, really? Both players have, I don't think Brad's slowed down at all. I don't think he's taken a minute to stop, but Callum's trying to slow things down. He's trying to. I feel like his coach has definitely told him, you need to calm down. Lovely cross into the middle. Great save from Van der Sar. How has he saved that?
Magic.
Indeed it is.
4-leaf clover, lucky rabbit's foot, who knows? Hopefully get a little interview later, of course, on the main broadcast. But for now, we must keep on watching, keep following the action. As Sancho on the ball. Try to follow that on to Ronaldo, but James had other ideas.
He did indeed. And, I feel like coming to the end of this game, I feel like Brad, he had that opportunity. He's had these opportunities again and again and again. And he was being very consistently coming forward, finding these opportunities, ball in behind for Hullet. Rudiger, you had to make that pass back to the goalkeeper and played it really well. But I feel like when Callum got that goal, he started getting those balls over the top. That's made him conscious. It's made him think. Wait, these names are the wrong way around. My apologies. Brad coming forward, Brad playing these balls over the top has made Callum cautious and getting a bit worried. So I feel like that's why he slowed down a little bit. So he doesn't find these holes in behind. He doesn't find these holes where, Brad can play these balls over the top. And I feel like it's smart from Callum, but that's also mean it's taking a lot of venom out of his attack.
And I think both of these players will be fine, with a 1-1 game going to the next one. Pass it on to your teammate. Let them take on from there. You got to be thinking for Callum. It's great to get that equaliser, bring even Stevens. Easy pick up for Van der Sar. Easy finish to the game.
Well, I feel like another thing as well for Callum is he can be so comfortable because he's got a teammate like Jazz. He's so experienced in these kind of moments. He's so experienced in these clutch situations that I don't think he needs to worry. I feel like Jambu said to him, close it out, slow things down, give it to Jazz. He can do it. We believe in him. We believe in our teammates here. And I feel like it is going to be a very close game, but Josh, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Josh here because coming up against one of the best players in the world, one of the top players in the world for quite a long while as well. That's a lot of pressure on one man's shoulders.
Halfway through this match, Burnley versus Everton. It's 1 apiece, but it's only half the tale. Guys at home, we will be going to a break to get this next match set on up. We currently sit on 1-1 in leg 1. Leg 2, the second match over on the PlayStation. It will be Jas versus Josh. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. We head into the second half of this matchup between Burnley and Everton. The first half was a spectacular matchup, wasn't it, George?
Oh, it's a banger. It was a certified banger. If you know me, I take my certified bangers very lightly, and that was a certified banger. But either way, you know, coming into the second game, Josh versus Jas, it should be a fantastic game. Very excited for it. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Josh, man. Coming up against a veteran of the FIFA esport, coming up against one of the best players in the world, you know, in a clutch situation. Every game matters in these groups. These groups are so short. There's how many? Each team plays 4 games, and that's it. This means everything. This is so important.
But if anyone's ready for it, it's got to be Jas. Everyone's still, like, you know, in a spectacle over Brad's goal there in the last series, and if that doesn't turn up in, you know, top 3 goals of the day, plays of the day, I'm going to feel insulted. Or the alternative is we've had even better belters, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, if we're looking, Jas could just deliver that. Of course, Josh will be looking to get that go-ahead, and I feel Josh is going to have to do it through aggression.
I do as well. I feel like he's got to be really aggressive from the off. I feel like he's got to take a play out of his teammates' book and start playing those over-the-top balls. Because the thing is that, sure, I mean, they could have completely different play styles, Callum and Jas, but like at the end of the day, they've got the same coach. Most likely they're going to have a similar play style. So for me, I feel like Josh has got to stick to that play style that Brad was going for and play those balls over the top, look for those balls in behind and use those manual select runs. And I feel like he's got to use that well because it worked so well in the first leg. We'll have to see what happens because obviously Jas is a completely different animal. He's obviously going to have his own play style. We know so much about him. He's such a legend to the esports scene. But we'll have to see because at the end of the day, this event is an opportunity for players to come, to do their part, to get qualified for their teams and to make a name for themselves. And that's why the ePremier League is so fantastic because anybody can take part.
Each of these teams had their own qualifiers. Of course, some of the teams invited players to take part and, skip the open qualifier portion. But like I said, both myself and you were covering Wolves over on their closed qualifiers. You also did Leeds. And the spectacle of the game there, where you have some literal nobodies coming on through,
yeah, true.
Because it was a completely open tournament, being able to start making a name for themselves on that stage. And then when we get through to this level, whilst a lot of these players already known from other tournaments within the FIFA, esports scene, some players here, this is the biggest event they've ever done. And I mean, boy, howdy, it's a massive event.
It is scary. It's scary for a player that's not been to many events before, or that maybe their first event entirely. This must be scary because if I was a player, if I was coming into this, hadn't been to an event before, and this was my first event, I'd be very nervous. I'd be very anxious because you see some of the names that are coming here. You've got Mark Marley coming in. You've got Tex. You've got so many fantastic players. You've got Diogo, obviously. You got Jas. You got Painter, Cosmin, Hughesy as well. MCFC, right? And there's some massive players in this tournament. And coming into this, it's a big. You've got expectations on you. That is true. You've got expectations from the club and. Obviously, they're going to come out and try to do their best, but I feel like, definitely Josh is going to have to perform here. He's going to have to perform really well, and we'll have to see if he can do it.
So both Josh and Jas right now just getting their settings put on in, of course, picking it up after the last series on earlier. It's all about your own preferences, and whilst at home, you've got that all dialed in. You don't have to change it all. When you come onto LAN, each time you turn up, you've got to change the settings, make sure it's to your preference. And that's one factor a lot of people at home never think about is even simple things like that monitor is different to what you used to, whether it could be size. I can remember, yesterday seeing big screens there, and then the production team beautifully handled it because the players were like, we preferred this size. And there was a unanimous agreement there. And how you can even adjust to the point of being how far away you are from your screen, right? That's why these monitors are on arms, so the players can pull it in closer to themselves if they want to get there.
Well, talking about, what the differences between here and home, they're in a massive studio right now.
That's absolutely freezing as well. Those hand warmers aren't for show. It's cold.
People at home, obviously, you only see the stage. You only see the stage, but it's a massive studio, and it's a big stage and it's a big opportunity. There's lights. There's everything you've got to take into account. The size of the room. Are you comfortable in the scenario? Obviously, you've got to do all your camera settings. Make sure the height, the zoom, everything is correct. You got to make sure if you have any controller preferences, if you switch any buttons around. There's so many things you need to take into account, and obviously if you don't prepare for these kind of events, you don't take notes down on what your exact things are, it can be your end. Oh, Callum just strolling across camera. I love to see it.
He's just going for a little walk around the world. There you go.
Oh, going by. Oh, a little bit of behind
into
the scenes
shadow
actions.
realm. Okay.
I did not know there was anything behind.
I literally thought it was blocked out as well, but hey. The more you know, eh? Getting into this one. Josh looks almost bored. He wants to get into that game and he's just looking around, admiring the scene. Jas finishing off the settings. clearly camera angle right now with the reflection of the field there.
Exactly, indeed. But yeah, he's just patient, just waiting. You know, I feel like that's the thing as well. You've got to be patient. You've got to be calm. You've got to be cool. You can't get to these events and be, you know, why is my game not starting? You can't get frustrated by it. You've just got to stay cool and calm. And I think mental fortitude is a massive thing in these kind of events, especially at lands. You cannot let your opponent know that you're getting tilted. You can't let them know you're getting frustrated, and that's one of the things that makes these top players, is the professionalism, the level of, I need to have that poker face. And Jazz is known for his poker face. Yeah. He is a very cool, calm, collected man.
And it's keeping that sort of like energy, that aura about yourself for the entire day, because this is going to be going on late. Currently, right now, I think we're scheduled for about a 10 p.m. finish after the last match between Liverpool and Man City. But let's start thinking about this match and let's get on to the pitch. The second leg of Burnley versus Everton. It's Jas and Josh. Jas for Everton, Josh for Burnley. It's going to be one apiece, even Stevens. Not like that last series where you got to think it could have ended with a draw if it wasn't for that sudden little turnaround.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Let's get it. It's going to be Everton attacking left to right. It's going to be Burnley attacking right to left. Obviously, that beautiful claret and blue kit versus, well, I'm not going to say beautiful blue kit because of support Liverpool,
yeah,
and obviously not a huge fan of Everton, but, you know, for a commentator's sake, I
love the little changes and the flavour that these esports kits that these teams provide as well change, but loving the flavour of this right now. St. Maximin found by Rashford, a little cheeky attempt for a pass towards centre, but it's blocked out.
Interesting. Tierney being played by Josh. Did not expect to see him today. I think it's winter wild card Tierney. I don't know if he has any other cards, to be honest with you. Ball played over the top, and that's exactly what I said. He's looking for it. Josh is looking to play those balls over the top, and it worked so well for him. Rashford, though, coming forward. St. Maximin in the middle. Can't quite find him, but might have been really worth it. But Van der Sar will come out. The pass is a little bit too powerful.
Pause already set on up. Not quite sure by who. Nonetheless, ideas. A couple of settings wanting to be changed. Just, I'd imagine by Jas in response to those overhead little lobs. Just to try and solidify any chances there. Found by Hullet. And well, that's been closed down beautifully by Jas.
Potentially. It's hard to deal with them, though, because there's no real setting that you can use to kind of say drop back when air balls are played or something like that, you know, where you'd see Premier League teams, if air balls are being played, you'd see them instantly just go drop straight back and be patient. But for these ones, I mean, you could play a high line and look for the offside trap, but that's asking for your demise. That's a toughie.
That's a bold move. Let's see how it plays out, you know. St. Maximin beautifully put forward to Rashford, looking for a little step in. Back to St. Maximin, and the interception by Hullet, knocking it towards Van der Sar. Whew, so little again separating these two sides. Everton and Burnley really trying to push the envelope of who could be the contender for that second place finish. And like we said, it's still early doors. Even top of the group is up for grabs.
It is indeed. And we'll have to see what happens in this game, because 20 minutes in, there hasn't really been too much action as of yet, and still yet to see either player get too much of a chance. But, you know, I feel like Jas is probably going to be the favourite in this match, but we will have to see. Obviously, Josh has a lot to bring to the table, and we'll have to see what he can provide. Tierney coming forward, gives the ball to Vieira. Kante with another fabulous interception, and there is a great run in behind is St. Maximin. Is that going to be a little bit solo tricky? No, he's patient. He holds the ball up, he waits. Rashford plays the ball in behind Rudiger with another interception.
But that was an easy one to read because Rashford was the only option there. So where else would you go? You take it back even further? No, you want to keep the attack going. But with a run forward, the shot put on. Van der Sar gets his hands in the way. A jump as well. Oh, well. That Van der Sar card, it's understandable why everyone is playing him today.
It's broken. He doesn't concede. That is another fantastic save. When it bounces up for the half volley, in those angles as well, I always expect it to go in, but obviously a great save, and there is a chance. Rashford on the ball, gives it to Ronaldo, looks to the shot. It's a nice block, and Vieira can take it away, and Josh can now look to come forward himself.
Tierney towards Hullet. Oh, well done by Kante. Well found Up towards St. Maximin, waiting for that shot in, but that was an easy interception. You can see when pressure is being applied, push comes to the shove in the box. The defenders coming out on top.
Really are indeed. And that's the thing about these two players. They're both so good. Oh, hello.
Oh.
Hello. What's going on here then? Jazz doesn't like that. He's confused, and I think a pause needs to come out there. I don't think he likes that, and we'll try and get the game restarted as soon as possible. But, I feel like Jazz definitely, I think the referees are saying play on. No, okay, no, Josh is going to be a good sportsman, put out a play so they can get the situation fixed. But I do feel like both of these players, coming forward well. We see Jazz obviously coming forward aggressively. We see him looking for the passes in the middle, and that's what we expect. But I feel like Josh needs to just kind of invite that pressure a little bit more and then look for that ball over the top.
So Josh just changing up his camera settings as well, wildly from the looks of it. Just there, either pressing the Xbox button in the center or controller, just disconnecting. Doubt that one. It looked just like an accidental press, but nonetheless, just waiting for confirmation from the admin. As you can see, Josh already ready up, looking to get back into the game. Just confirming, tidying things up, earphone back on in, and any moment now, should be underway.
But either way, if you are just joining us here at the ePremier League Finals, Group B, Liverpool versus Leicester, the first game of the day. Liverpool managed to win 2-1, 1-0 in the first leg between Tex and Painter, and then Cosmin versus Diogo. Diogo took an early goal, and Cosmin got a very late equaliser, but could not bring it back to bring out a draw or potentially a golden goal or a third leg. I'm not too sure what it'd be. But Burnley versus Everton, this game so far currently 1-1 on aggregate. The first leg was fantastic between Brad and Callum, and we're going to have to see what happens now in this game.
Getting back underway will be Jas with the throw-in, and on over towards Jocelyn Centre. Tierney on the ball, back towards Rudiger. Putting it out wide towards side Rashford. Good head from him. He wants to send this in towards the centre, back towards Vieira. Probably swap it on over to the other wing. Tierney finds Hullett. You can see a little bit slower right now coming out from Josh.
Yeah, just patience, isn't it? He's got plenty of time. They're still drawing. It's still 0-0 technically. I feel like you've just got to be patient. You've got to hold on to the ball, wait for your opponent to make a mistake, and the thing is, they're pressing so hard. Sancho, though, on the ball, finds Ronaldo in the middle. A little bit of space. And Maximin, though, can't find the shot. It's blocked. Lovely little elastico, but cannot find the shot. It's blocked again. And now Jazz looks like to counter-attack.
But Hullett getting in the way, showing that the hair's not just for show. Does have some capabilities of its own. Send it off towards the opposite wing. And again, play that possession game. Wind down the clock, wait for the opening. Was that an injury? I just see that towards the centre.
Yeah, there was an injury. It should wear off, hopefully. But Ronaldo coming into the box. Ball roll, stops, turns inside. Plays it into the middle. St. Maximin with an opportunity. He's got so much room. Rashford! That's wide. I think he's offside anyway, but it was wide. No, it was onside. I'm sorry, but Rashford's got to be scoring those.
I mean, with the injury as well, remember?
True, but I'm sorry. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. He's got loads of room. Rashford should. I feel like that was a golden opportunity. I feel like Josh should be in the lead here.
You just want to see Everton get scored on.
No,
Liverpool fans.
No,
at
all.
Well, first half comes to a close. 0-0 still in this game. 1-1 on aggregate. Where do we go from here? 45 minutes left to go, and of course, it could go nowhere. It could end in a draw, which I think would be the biggest upset of them all, to be honest.
I feel like a draw in these kind of situations is hard because both teams are losing, really, aren't they? Like, even if you lose, you get 0 points.
It's the start of the day, so you want to push the envelope. Those 3 points are massive to kick you off. So and where you haven't got the situation like behind you, you feel like you can take that risk and push for the win.
Yeah, a draw. Look at American football and stuff like that, and basketball and stuff like that. Do they do draws? No. But either way, it's football. we're here. It's Everton versus Burnley, and it's 1-1 currently on aggregate. Who's going to take this one home? We are yet to see. Ronaldo in the area, looks for Hullet. Hullet doesn't even kick the ball. He kicks the air, misses the ball completely, and now Josh can look to counter-attack, see if he finds that ball over the top. It's a little bit too powerful, and Jazz can recover himself. He can reclaim the ball and look to build out from the back.
Scary moments on both sides. Just right now, looking in the zone, Hullet. Put it down on the wing. Oh, just beautiful skills. Found by Sancho in the box with Ronaldo. The shot's off the post. Well. Josh, you got to be thanking your lucky stars there, lad.
Oh, my goodness. That was so close. Hits the post, and we're still somehow level pegging here. It's still 0-0, yet to break the deadlock. Oh, my word. Great interception, quite high up the field, but Hullet will intercept it as well. And now Josh looking to come forward. There's plenty of players, just about manages to get the ball to Cancelo, avoids the tackle. Rashford, St. Maximin now. Ronaldo is there with him, chooses to go down the right wing. João Cancelo on the ball, looking to play it into the middle, finds Rashford, looks for Ronaldo, but Ruben Diaz does so well. It goes out for a corner kick.
Well, Sancho to pick it up off that corner, not going to wait around, no messing around. Take it back towards the mid, allow those players to just step forward. And then we go again. Hullet with a back pass towards St. Maximin in centre. Easy interception by Kante. Hullet put it out towards St. Maximin as well. And Jazz, I don't know. It does feel like he is building up that confidence, building up towards a goal with Rashford on the ball. The shot by Van der Sar denies.
It's their near post shots. They're so unlikely to go in. It's such a coin flip in those situations. Whip to the back post though. João Cancelo does well, gets it away. How long for? Hullet going to go up for the header, wins it. Vieira now, and it's still this build-up play. It's a great tackle from Ronaldo, of all people, to bring Josh back into the fold. He can now look to come forward himself. And the thing about this game is it's so end-to-end. It could be anybody's game. 63 minutes into this one and still yet to break a deadlock. An hour into the game, no goals. We've hit the post. We've had very close saves. Van der Sar's making incredible saves. Oh, my.
Like Rashford. With Jazz trying to start another attack. Taking it down the centre. Now towards Sancho on the wings, back towards Rashford. Not going to be able to find a pass through there. Too many defenders in the way. And you can see Jazz just continuously putting the pressure on, waiting for Josh to slip up.
I don't know if he will. I feel like he is defending well, don't get me wrong. Jazz has had a few opportunities. But the question, the only thing that matters is who slips up first. Obviously, the other team is going to capitalise on it. You would think. These players are so good at capitalising on mistakes. But there's a lot of pressure now. Whoever makes the first mistake, it's probably going to be game over. 71 minutes, 19 minutes left to go. This is crunch time.
And that's it. With the experience of Jazz, he's counting his opponent to make that mistake. He's got so much worldly experience to be able to just draw from and keep calm. Wait for that moment. Josh, the younger player, of course, is just going to do it straight from skill. He wants to push upfield here. Down by Sancho from Rashford. But now on the wing once again with Cancelo.
And now,
just patience as well.
Yeah, exactly. And
love it.
Both of these players have this patience. They both hold on to the ball, pass it around the back, waiting for the ball to build up. The thing is, neither of these two players are really leaving many men forward. They're all getting people back. And obviously that means you've got to take things slow. But when you counter-attack, and that's when you got to come forward. But that's when the players are so good at defending. João Cancelo, though, coming into the area, looking for that play once again, looking to try and find Ronaldo, but can't. Josh is, well, they're both incredible at defending. Yeah. It's not worth me saying Josh is good at defending anymore. I was
expecting Josh with the last 20 minutes to just flip it, make an unexpected, very aggressive play to try and get that opening goal. But not to be found just yet. With Rashford on the wing, centred towards Sancho. Rashford once again, beautiful little pass there. Oh, it's a little bit cluttered up on that corner, looking to just create an opening line. Sancho to Ronaldo, not going to be able to put the shot on. And Kante gets it out.
couldn't get the heel-to-heel animation quick enough. It was so close. If he got that heel-to-heel animation off, that would have been it. It would have been a goal. It would have been game over. It would have been Burnley taking the win, but he couldn't. It was great defending from Jazz once again. So Maximin wins the ball at high up the pitch, but he hasn't got any help. João Cancelo can just take it back, and this is the thing. Now, what I would say, if I was in this situation, I would say Jazz needs to hold on to the ball until about the 90th minute, until he sees how many minutes added on. He wants the last opportunity here, I feel like. I feel like he wants to hold on to it. Don't let Josh get any more opportunities, because he can score. He is very good going forward. We've seen him. He is quite good at counter-attacking. He's good at finding these balls, and I feel like he's good at getting down the wings, getting the ball in the middle. He's good at a bit of everything, to be fair. But either way, Jazz is holding on to the ball. He's doing well, and he's going to look for that last opportunity in the 90th minute.
Rashford out wide to St. Maximin.
This could be it.
Could be with a step on in. Is there a chance for a pass? Not going to be. Sancho get the block. Rashford with the sliding tackle. It is out of play.
Yes, not out of time.
it's all down to one throw in now, and then I don't know, hope.
I feel like you've just got to bring on as many substitutions as possible, get as much time as you can added onto that clock. I don't even know if it does that, to be honest. I don't know if it takes it into account, but yeah, I feel like you just do whatever you can, really. You bring on whatever you can, and yeah, I don't know. Jazz has obviously had that opportunity, that last opportunity. I feel like when we get to the halfway line, it's just going to be full time. I don't feel like it's going to matter. I feel like it's pretty much game over at this point. It's going to go to a draw, but we will have to see Josh. I feel like they've both played their hearts out and done really well, and they're both the last key moment. They're both defended so well.
We said it was close between these two teams. It might just end in that draw, and it will end in that draw. Josh, you can see a little bit of frustration towards the end, but at the end of the day, when these two teams go back to the players' lounge, they'll be thinking that was a tough match and well earned by both sides. So that single point, which could be the difference maker at the end of the day.
Yeah, it definitely could be. I feel like both of the players, well, all four of the players, they played really well. I feel like in the first leg, obviously, Brad Callum, I feel like it was a great game. Callum, obviously, he tried his best, but Brad with the equaliser, it was honestly, I don't know what to say about that last game, to be honest. 0-0 after 90 minutes of play, and that's just the thing about this FIFA. Defending is one of the top things you've got to be a pro player. If you can't defend, you're not going to be a good player. You need to be able to defend, and both of those players just showed that they are two of the best defenders in this competition.
And that's why we're talking about the difference between all the Xbox games being first and then the PlayStation games being second, because now we've seen that they could hold a lead. Like that's well within their playbook. But going down the line, they might have to then reclaim the lead. We'll have to see. This match, of course, going to be finishing up 1-1 on aggregate. Those goals coming through from Callum and Brad. But Jazz and Josh, well, they were looking for goals. Unfortunately, none to be found.
Yeah, Jazz, he played well. Don't get me wrong, he played well, but I didn't see very much of either of those two players coming forward. We saw a few over the top balls by Josh. We saw some good balls in behind, good at coming in off the wings, but the final product was just not there, and that could be down to the fact that Van der Sar was playing so well in this game. Like, honestly, it really could be, but either way, we're going to have a quick look at the table, and as you can see, there's draws on the board now. Yeah,
it is going to be interesting for the long haul. We finish up round one with Liverpool on top, Man City down there in fourth, but that is only because they haven't had that chance to play just yet. They'll be playing in the following rounds. It will be Burnley taking a little bit of a break for round two. But before we head to a break, guys, we've got an exhibition match coming on up here, don't we, George?
We do indeed. It's going to be Lisa Manley versus Liv Cook, and it's going to be Footheader versus Rosa Kimmeter. We're going to be back shortly for this exhibition match.
happening behind us. We've got Liv Cook with Lisa Manley, that's one pairing. Then we've got foot header with Rosie Committer as well. So awesome to see this. Before we get into this game, let's just talk a little bit again about how women in FIFA are growing. Agra, I'm going to come to you and talk a little bit more about Focus Clan and Fabian. She's become the first ever woman to qualify for an FGS qualifier. I mean, this is a massive deal in terms of how difficult it is to even qualify for these events.
Yeah, it's an amazing achievement, really. It's so hard to qualify for that 1% of players who are coming to the qualifiers. You need to go. You need to win a lot of games in division rivals in the highest elite division, which is very tough. So I mean, it's a massive statement, I think, and very impressive.
Yeah, super impressive. There's so many of these women coming through as well. There's someone else I want to talk about from RB Leipzig as well, Lena. So she's a female that's doing the job over there for Leipzig. She's actually an under-23 player for Leipzig and has also been signed for their esports division as well. Again, it just reiterates that when you're good at football, you can transfer those skills onto the virtual pitch. Lisa, I know, was a footballer back in the day before injury put that career pathway to bed. So she transferred to FIFA.
I mean, it just, like you said, goes to show how knowing the game in real life translates to knowing the game on FIFA. There's little stuff that potentially people that don't know or watch the game in real life might not be able to pick up on FIFA. Whereas, for example, Lisa or Lena know these different things. They know where to position themselves. They know where to position their players. They know what to do in certain situations. And they also have that mental fortitude to maybe be able to bounce back from a goal down or be able to fight. So I'm really looking forward to this game and seeing if Lisa shows that.
Kyle, it's one leg though, and these pairings never play with each other. So this may be the first time they've ever played with each other in a duo. How tricky is this going to be?
Well, they're both going to have to adapt very, very quickly. I have a feeling that foot header and, of course, Lisa Manley, they'll be doing a lot of the work, maybe, for Liv and for Rosie. I can see that Rosie is just taking a quick look at header's screen. She's watching, she's learning, as she says just there, trying to get some final tips and tricks before we get into this game. Do you know how to pass, shoot? Oh, good, it's all right, it's okay.
Actually,
that's all I can do, so that's all right.
Rosie was actually a part of another female FIFA event actually at Christmas time, and Maz Pacheco from Aston Villa was the captain of that, and they actually played pro clubs as well, 4v4. They did 2v2 FIFA as well. They did some skill-based games, and Rosie was on that winning team, so she has in fact got the skills. She's been practicing. She was on broadcast with me a couple of weeks ago as well as a commentator and co-host, so she knows the game inside and out. And actually, she's up to the northwest somewhere after this to play tomorrow in a match as well. So she's jumping on a train straight after this, going to put her football boots on and play for Watford as well. So busy woman over there. So FIFA to football, that's exactly what we're going to see, Tom.
What a weekend this could be for her, by the way. 2 wins, a W today, a W tomorrow. This could be huge.
Yeah, I mean,
who have you got tomorrow, Rosie? Sunderland. She's playing Sunderland tomorrow. There we go. I should have remembered that one. But so busy weekend for Rosie. She's coming back off an injury as well. She had a little bit of a back problem yesterday. So she's here. She's going to play here. And I mean, what would that show, I guess, that, you know, we can do anything. You can go and play football at the weekend, and you can play FIFA, grind it out, 8 hours a day, whatever these girls are doing, and come here and play on the biggest stage, Tom. Yeah,
I mean, literally, like you said, it's all to play for, and literally they can do anything. Anything is possible, and it goes to show they're literally here now. Tomorrow is going to be a quick turnaround as well, and it's all to play for. I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are, and we're moments away from that one just there. What a great showcase it is. As we've just said, hashtag things we love to see. We definitely do. And Rach, it's coming up very shortly.
Yeah, it is coming up indeed. Right now, I believe we can hand over to our 2 casters.
Oh, there they are.
For this matchup, Samantha Miller and Brandon Smith. Guys, Sam, I know you do quite a lot of these female FIFA events. How excited are you to be on this big stage with Brandon?
I'm very excited. My first time working with Brandon. He's an excellent professional, and I think we're going to have a very interesting game on our hands today.
Yeah, don't blame yourself down, Samantha Miller. You've done a lot in the space as well. But yeah, we're so excited for this one. I mean, I've had the opportunity just to sit back and just watch how big female FIFA esports has become, to be honest. The She Sports Cup's been fantastic, and from someone that's been heavily involved in that, Samantha, how big has it become? Because we've had 4 of them now, I believe, in total.
I've loved seeing the growth. I feel like we're seeing more and more women's FIFA players becoming professional. They're becoming a community, and you really feel that. I'm loving the link up between each other. They're really spurring each other on in games now, and I'm excited to see who wins this one today.
Yeah, absolutely. It plans to be a fantastic game, this one, as we said. It'll be on FIFA Ultimate Team. We'll be looking at the same rules that the Premier League players have been playing in the ePremier League. Let's talk about the two teams individually. Lisa Manley and Liv Cook, first and foremost, on that left-hand side of the pod you can see there. You've got professional FIFA player, former professional footballer Lisa Manley, with Liv Cook, who is a huge freestyler, massive sort of the influence that she has within the female game. She's actually even hosted a recent E-Champions League tournament I commentated on too. So someone that's just so involved in pretty much everything, football to esports. What do you make of their team coming into this one, firstly?
Firstly, I'm going to go all out and say I'm backing these two to win it. I know Liv Cook, and she's one of the most competitive people I know. She's good at everything. And Lisa Manley, I now know firsthand how good she is. I played her yesterday, and I'm ashamed to say it, but she beat me 12-0. So I saw exactly how Lisa operates. She's very tactical, and I think these two are going to be a great matchup together.
12-0. Did you put the controller down?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I lost track of the score at one point. I had to ask Lisa. I did get a player sent off.
Don't worry. I played Lisa at the media day for the Premier League. She beat me as well. Don't worry. We can both wear that same hat as losers in that. On the flip side, let's speak about the other two players. Footheader, another top professional FIFA esports player. Someone that's won the She Sports Cup a few years back now in the summer. There she's on your screen now. Someone else who's paving the way for the next generation of FIFA players to come through. She partners alongside, obviously, professional footballer at Watford, Rosie Kamita. What do you make of that team and that duo assembled together?
Well, Footheader, I've seen grow in confidence. She's not been professional for too long, since December, but you can see that her level was just going up and up and up. And she was almost surprised when she won the She Sports Cup. And I like that about her. Very humble. You can see that she's really growing within the space. And Rosie doesn't play too often, but she's got the footballing brain. We mentioned she's playing Sunderland tomorrow. Rosie has played football for a very long time, and she's really starting to practice FIFA a bit more now after taking part in the She Sports Cup.
Yeah, if you don't know what the She Sports Cup is all about, you know, credit to one of our superb hosts here at the Premier League, Rachel Stringer, heavily behind that movement and done a fantastic job of just giving opportunities. I think that's one thing we were speaking about on the preview to this exhibition match is there's just more opportunities now, isn't there, for females within esports?
There's a lot of opportunities, and we do have Rachel Stringer to thank for that. And the tournaments have been amazing. I've loved being a part of them. And Rosie co-hosted with Rachel on the last one, and now she's playing in it. And Footheader, I think she really enjoyed her time playing in the competition as well. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly those two gel together as a team.
Absolutely. Well, we have just heard that in the process of getting these teams built, we are going to be going to a quick break now. When we get back, we'll have this exhibition game between the two female teams. It's going to be an exciting one here at the Premier League. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a few minutes when that game is ready.
When it comes to EA Sports FIFA 22, we all want to collect the best foot items for our teams. So, with that in mind, we brought together 3 ePremier League finalists to test their knowledge in what we're calling a fastest finger first style quiz called Stat Attack. Our 3 finalists today, we have Ryan from Man City. Ryan is a boing.
Yeah.
Cosmin. Cosmin's a bell. Jazz. And Jazz is the horn. The first person to make their lovely noise there and correctly identify the item will be given a point. If you buzz in and you answer incorrectly, you're frozen out. Ready, guys?
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's play Stat Attack. Okay, this is going to be trickier first from pace then.
Pace 70 defend.
Jazz.
Pogba.
Incorrect. Frozen. Cosmin.
Bruno. Oh, it's
1 point.
I was thinking that it's a CDM or when I saw the face of the other midfielders.
Foot item number 2. Dribbling 84, physicality 62.
Must be an attacking player.
Ryan.
No, I'm out in it.
No, you're in.
Okay, no, he said no. He said no.
No way.
From the nationality. Listen.
And 3 stats.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We just have it in the locker. Done, Jazz.
I gotta get this one back.
But item number 3. So physicality 60, passing 81. It's defending right wing.
Morris. I knew it from the
He's
physical.
good at
No, do you know what's mad? Do you know what's mad? I didn't even know it from the pace. It was the physicality at 60. I swear to God. Because I thought, I've seen that before.
2 to Ryan, 1 Cosmin. Jazz, you're frozen. Come
I'm
on,
getting this
mate.
next one. Don't worry. Next one's
I
one.
don't think his buzzer worked.
But item number 4. Jazz, I'm looking at you. Villa, close to home.
Leon Bailey.
Woo! Jazz, tell me about your thought process then, guessing this.
He's probably the only good player in Villa's team.
I like your thought process. That's great. Let's move on then. So we've got 2, 1, 1. Cosmin, Jazz. Let's get another one. Okay, number 5. Flags. Ooh!
Piarte.
Oh, it is. I was...
Oh my days!
We're here.
What was it? The flag that gave it away?
The defender didn't give it away, yeah.
Okay, number 6. Come on, Cosmin. Gotta get on back.
Son. See that?
Correctio. No
Easy. Just need a
further.
flag. You see what I mean? A flag, just
Just
a
get
flag.
away,
You
man.
don't need anything else. Just a flag.
Okay, let's start. 70 physicality, 73
Is that
dribbling.
non-rare?
Non-res is where we draw the line, you know. Not a clue.
English shooting is 67.
You guys, this is yours. I haven't no clue.
37 pace. What else do we get?
Mark Noble.
Woo! Mark Noble, Mr. West Ham.
Big knobs, come on. There's not many people slower than that, so...
Ryan and Jazz,
Fighting for it.
between you two, but you could upset the party a little bit here. Okay, number 8, final foot item. 70 defending, centre mid.
Thiago.
Yeah.
Jazz,
You got it.
Everton is your champion. 4 points to Cosmin's
Come
1
on.
to Ryan's 3.
You bottled a big lead there.
What's my day today?
That, guys, was Stat Attack. Thank you so much for playing, Ryan, Cosmin and Jazz. Good luck for the ePremier League finals this weekend. Jazz, though, you are a champion at
Let's
Stat
go.
Attack. Congratulations.
Take those.
Well, welcome back to the Premier League Grand Finals. We have just had a little bit of a stop on proceedings for group play today as we've got this exciting game coming up for you. It's an exhibition match between 4 female superstars. In between, we have Lisa Manley and Liv Cook up against Footheader and Rosie Kamita. Myself, Brandon Smith, and joining me for the commentary on this one, a guest appearance, Samantha Miller. Sam, we've been previewing this game. We hope it's ready in the next few minutes. But how excited are you for this matchup?
Very, like I alluded to earlier, these are 4 very competitive players. Liv Cook and Lisa Manley, I'm sure they would have been discussing tactics just then, and Footheader and Rosie as well. And for me, it's about who adapts most quickly, because playing within a team is very different, as we know, to playing as an individual. And you can see Footheader's looking a tiny bit nervous there, but I think we're going to have a cracking game on our hands.
I was going to say, what is the biggest thing as well? You've obviously been around at the She Sports Cup in LAN person and from home as well. How big of a difference is it playing in a studio like this for these players, do you think?
Very different. I think maybe nerves get to you a bit more. You can feel how much of a big event it is. Maybe if you're in the comfort of your own home, you might feel a bit less nervous. But for me, it's important to get yourself out there, play on the big stage. And I think the players are really hyped when they see the massive studio and all the graphics. I think it just gets their adrenaline pumping and they really feel up for the game once they get into that studio.
Yeah, we have to speak about Lisa Manley first and foremost. Just came off the back of the She Sports Cup second place run there. You commentated on that one throughout. What impressed you about Lisa in that performance, and maybe just how unlucky was she in that grand final?
I was very impressed with Lisa. Lisa was part of the first She Sports Cup I did, and she lost to Gemma Davison. Gemma Davison is a pro footballer who's just joined Watford, will be partnering Rosie in the team. But for me, you can see that Lisa was a lot more confident in the last one. She got to the final, and she came so close to winning the whole thing. Ebru on the day, her tactics were spot on. She went all out attack. And I actually spoke to Lisa about the final, and Lisa said she had to adapt really quickly because Ebru was playing a long ball over the top. So Lisa had to go all out defensive. Lisa likes to be a very attacking style player, but she had to quickly evolve. And for me, that says a lot about Lisa, how she can deal with different situations.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, foot header has been a She Sports Cup winner within her past. I think it was in the summer of 2021 she was a winner there. I do believe we are jumping into this exhibition game right now. It plans to be a fun one. 2v2 FIFA eSports always gives a surprise or two. And what are some of those things we have to keep an eye on, Samantha, in terms of 2v2 FIFA? Because it's very different to playing on your own, isn't it, in these sort of scenarios?
It is, and you've got to be a team player. And what's good is the likes of Lisa Manley, she's played for Fulham, Wimbledon. Liv Cook still plays at the moment for a Sunday League team. She's played previously at a high level until she got an injury, unfortunately. And Rosie Comita plays for Watford. So those three players will know how to work in a team environment, and that's really important. And I'm excited to see the combination of foot header and Rosie and how they work together. But you've just got to be able to switch up your tactics quickly and really notice how your other player plays.
Absolutely, as we said, we are going to kick this one off in just a second. It will be Lisa Manley and Liv Cook kicking from left to right in that Manchester United strip. Keep an eye out for Lisa Manley controlling the red icon above the player's head. Liv Cook with the blue, and on the flip side for foot header and Rosie Comita, it is foot header with a yellow icon above the player's head and Rosie with the white. So keep an eye on those little moments of magic, or potentially the big mistakes. We're going to see it's a long ball over the top from the start, and it's an easy day for Schmeichel in goal. We are using FIFA Ultimate Teams here, as we rightly said, probably teams that are going to be similar to what we've seen in the Premier League, so it's safe to say, Samantha, expect to see the likes of João Cancelo, Ruud Gullit in those teams, Cristiano Ronaldo. The big names will feature heavily.
Definitely, I'm sure we'll see plenty who featured in Team of the Year. When I did the She Sports Cup, a lot were using the likes of Kante, De Bruyne. Obviously, you've got Ronaldo, Salah, oh, a chance there. Salah, who's in contention for top goal scorer, that golden boot in the Premier League. And you can notice that a lot of players pick the players with the highest stats, and usually around the 90s.
Yeah, one man on your screen there to watch out for. That foot birthday item, Cristiano Ronaldo. An accumulation of incredible FIFA items are available on show. Rudiger, all the way from centre-back, wants to get involved in this first attack for the duo of foot header and Rosie Comita. This could be a chance from the get-go. It's going to fall to Liv Cook, of all out the duo. That's the little mistakes you're going to see there. If that's Lisa Manley, do you beg to ask the question, would that have been a goal?
You do, and Liv's usually very calm under pressure. She likes those big pressure moments, and I think she'll be disappointed not to take the chance. But what I found out about Lisa yesterday playing against her is that most her shots were from outside the area. She's got the confidence to shoot from distance. I'm already seeing some changes, some tactical changes in the game.
Yeah, interesting that there's been personnel changes straight away 11 minutes in. Shows that maybe the communication between Lisa and Liv maybe wasn't fully there when they were building that team. But what a chance it was for David Ginola. If you are wondering how the Frenchman makes the team, you are allowed foot heroes in these teams. A foot hero, of course, is sort of just that level down below an icon, a player that has previously played in the Premier League within the career. But look at that from the get-go. 11 minutes in, Samantha, we see the first big chance there. It was a lofted through ball from Lisa. And in the nicest way, it was a really good chance for Liv Cook to probably have gone 1-0 up there. But it goes to show just how deadly they can be going forward with their first real chance of the game.
Well, it was a lovely ball over the top. And I think that's when it comes into play where you need to be a bit more switched on. When you're playing with another player, I suppose you know if you're playing individually that you can play that ball over the top. You're alert to it to get there quick. You don't know what your player's going to do and where they're going to feed you the ball.
One thing just to keep an eye on for those at home, as that was Rosie Comita having an interesting punt of the ball out to the full back there. Look out for the individual player movements, all right? The player switching is going to play a massive part in this game. You know, defensively, who's going forward, defensively, who's pulling people out of position. Here's another chance. Liv Cook does well, recycles in to Lisa Manley, who's controlling João Cancelo now. And you'll see that from the two pros. Who's got the skill move in their locker, the extra flick of the right stick. Ginola, brilliant pass. Cristiano Ronaldo! Very nearly. 1 goal to the good. They win a corner.
Great save.
Whipped in to CR7, who will be there defensively. Anton Rudiger. Already, though, you did sort of put your hat on the line, Samantha, and you said one team would go and win this game. That team has looked like the team that's been on top so far.
They really do look like the team most likely to score the opening goal. And Liv Cook, if you just talk about her personality, she's won 5 world records. I'll just pause for a minute as we see a break go forward. It's not really been used enough there. Should have potentially been a goal. But just as I was saying, I think someone like Liv Cook, 5 world records. She did something like 217 soul taps and keepy-uppies in a minute.
Chance. Off the bar! And on the rebound, it's not there. N'Golo Kante, unfortunately, not known for his air ball. His air... I can't even say the word. Aerobatics in the air. I'll tell you what, knocking on the door. That was Lisa Manley with that shot through and goal. And it could be the first chance on the flip side. 4-foot header. And Rosie Kamita. It's going to fall to Rosie now, who's controlling Mohamed Salah. Looks for the cutback. It's brilliantly done. Firmino control. Just about possession. Kept intact. Firmino still with it, the Brazilian star of Liverpool. Trying to find a way around defensively. Sound is N'Golo Kante. And they survived to fight another day. But no, absolutely millions upon millions of followers Liv Cook has got. Rightly so off the back of her achievements in the freestyle world. The world record she holds too. Lisa comes forward, passes it in. I don't know why she didn't take the shot. She passed it into David Janona, who was miles offside.
You can see already that Lisa Manley and Liv Cook are just trying to establish the communication and working together as a team. It's just about being on the same wavelength. But foot header and Rosie Kamita did have a chance up the other end of the pitch. And for me, it's about how quickly foot header and Rosie Kamita are able to break forward on the counter-attack. Because it does look like Lisa Manley and Liv Cook are controlling the possession a bit more.
I think, as you rightly said, it's how long does it take for them to get that connection in terms of in the 2v2 environment. You know, you can see the runs that are being triggered there by Lisa on that occasion with Cristiano Ronaldo. And also understanding how each duo wants to play in this one. This is nicely done on the build-up. Foot header controlling Alan Saint-Maximin, who's been making headlines in the first couple of group games here in the ePremier League. Nicely done. Whipped in. Fortunately, that one goes out of play. It has been an improvement in the last 5 minutes or so.
Saint-Maximin has been a player that's really impressed me. It's his pace going forward. I like his backflip celebration. Hopefully we'll see that in the game. He's just a player with real flair about him.
Here comes Cristiano Ronaldo. Nicely done by Liv Cook. It was another brilliant chance. David Janona just wasn't controlled there on that occasion. She did everything right, did Liv. Fortunately, Lisa just could not control the play on the flip side. This game's so end-to-end. How you want a game of FIFA to be.
Very transitional game so far. Always
the numbers. Look at the red shirts. Chance. Salah, they're trying to literally walk it into the back of the net. And again, they come so close as the chance is still not fully dealt with. 4 minutes away from the half-time. Whistle being cued. Sancho. Back to Kieran Tierney. Pull it. Speak about total football. They're trying to play total football. Are Lisa and Liv. Unfortunately, there's no way through again on that occasion.
Been a very transitional game end-to-end as we're in with a chance here.
Another brilliant save. It's just not falling kindly as that one goes out of play, and that was Liv Cook, so close.
I have to say, foot header and Rosie Kamita have actually defended really well. They've held on to this game to keep it 0-0. There's been plenty of chances for Lisa and Liv.
I mean, so far at the halfway point, 0-0 somehow in this one, Samantha. I'm not too sure how it is still 0-0. They've had 4 or 5 chances. If we have to be critical of Liv and Lisa, maybe at times trying to play too pretty. Just have it shot.
It is one of those where they try to pass it into the net. And I said yesterday that Lisa was taking shots from distance. I think we need to see more of that. I think she's actually trying to be a real team player, try and find Liv in the box, pass it around a bit together. I think they just need to take shots earlier and be more clinical in front of goal.
And I think on the flip side, for Liv in that duo, I think she's tried to implement that as well. It's not a case of neither of us are desperate to score on this live broadcast for today. They just want to play nice football and they want to play good FIFA and try and find a way forward. What have we got to see on the flip side from foot header and Rosie Kamita? Because let's be honest, They've had about 35 minutes there, the 45 of defending.
I do like that it's been a very tight game. It's been very transitional end to end. And you can see that Rosie Cometa and Footheader's best chance is probably going to come from a counter-attack. And they need to be quick. They need to try and launch the ball up top as quickly as possible. Maybe that's not the prettiest style of football, but I think that's how they could potentially get goals in this game. They've defended brilliantly. And like I said, Lisa and Liv need to take their chances better in front of them.
Yeah. Between both players and both teams there, Rosie and Liv. Also, shouting words across the studio at each other. But it's 0-0 at the halfway point here. If you have just joined us, this is the Premier League Grand Final, day 1 of 2. Of course, we're here all the way until the end of play today with group action. As we're speaking right now, the players in the Premier League finals are having just a slight break to get some refreshments on board before they get back to group play. But in the process, we've had this exciting game so far, which we can confirm, I think, Samantha, there should be goals in the next 45 minutes. Well, I hope there will be.
I hope there will be too. It doesn't look like it at the moment. There's been so many chances, very close. I do feel a goal is coming soon.
A change that has been made. Eric Cantona comes at the halfway point for Liv and Lisa. Interesting change. One of the icons that, of course, had a spell in the Premier League. Here's Coutinho. It's the first shot they've had. It's better. It's a lot better from Footheader and Rosie Cometa. It was Footheader had the shot. But if anything, it was just a routine day in the office for the goalkeeper.
Wasn't enough power and precision on the shot, but much better from them in this second half. An early chance, and you can see they're really going for it now, and it's all to play for at 0-0.
Well, they needed a better start. So far, that has happened. Nicely done. Played into the path of Cristiano Ronaldo. There's a little bit of a button press there. You saw it was time red. If it was to fall to the head of Alain Saint-Maximin, but in the nicest way, he was never winning that aerial battle against Ruben Dias, let alone the goalkeeper.
You can see already there's battles going on. And I think it's a very exciting game. We spoke about this before the match started, and it really has been end to end, and it's been brilliant so far.
Tanganga at fullback of Spurs. A special item in the game of Ultimate Team. Coutinho playing his football at Aston Villa. It's been a lot better. Bobby Firmino!
Just over, but much better this second half from Rosie Cometa and Footheader.
That could be an awful mistake. Well recovered there by Liv Cook defensively, really sound, but something as simple as an extra double tap on the X button could come costly there, whether you're skipping a replay. Next thing you know, you're gifting possession back to a forward. It's been a lot better. Chance! Timed it red again! It was a brilliant save regardless. But I don't know what's happened in the halfway point, Samantha, but there has been a massive change of proceedings here, and just the way that Footheader and Rosie have come out in this second half.
They're almost like a new team. We didn't see this from them in the first half. Incredible, the improvements, and I think that's what happens. Oh, is there going to be a goal?
And there will be. It's a smash and grab. And it's Liv Cook.
It's like winning a football tactics for you, just wondering.
But it's got it. I mean, we were speaking highly of Footheader and Rosie Cometa, of how well they started, but it's the man that's come off the bench that's provided that moment of magic for Lisa Manley and Liv Cook. Liv Cook with the goal, and Eric Cantona to get this first goal just before the 60th minute mark. We said there was going to be surprises in this exhibition game, and there's the first goal of the match.
Well, Liv Cook, she always says that she's obsessed with getting better. She always wants to be the best, and she steps up in those big moments. She knows that she should have scored and could see another goal here.
Could be two. Liv with another. This time it's another icon. And it's Ruud Gullit with easy pickings.
Thank you. Liv Cook at the double. She's gained momentum. You can see that the first goal has given her confidence, and that's when you have to use that momentum. She's got herself another goal. She'll be full of confidence now, and you can see how disappointed Rosie Cometa and Footheader are. They put so much into this second half, and they've improved, but Liv Cook has just really taken her chances in this second half, and it shows you how quickly a game can change.
Yeah, after we're singing the praises of Footheader and Rosie now. 2-0 down, could be on the way to 3-0 down. It's Cristiano Ronaldo, tries to put on a plate. Could fall kindly back. Sancho. You can tell they're both Slightly biased towards Manchester United players, Lisa and Liv, with the amount of them they've got going forward, even in an icon capacity.
They're both Manchester United fans, so it doesn't surprise me at all. And Lisa is signed with Jay Lings.
Yeah, professional FIFA esports player for Jesse Lingard's own esports organisation. It's Lisa Manley. Currently on the winning team here with Liv Cook. 15 minutes left to play. That's Lisa having some fun on the wing. With Eric Cantona, the goal scorer of the first. Is there anything back chance? Brilliant ball from Rosie Comita on the plate. Could be for foot header. It's a lot to ask. N'Golo Kante happy to get back and defend. And he's done superbly well, the French midfielder.
Don't often see Ronaldo get tackled like that, but Kante, players have spoken about, it's like having an extra player on the pitch. He puts in that much work rate.
Well, it could be 3. Sancho looking for the one more. Again, maybe falling back to old habits there, trying to overplay it. Just take a shot in that scenario of Jadon Sancho. You're already 2-0 up. Sure, the confidence should be oozing in those sort of moments.
Lisa did say that she likes playing with Sancho on this game with his finesse shot. You can shoot from distance. And they do just need to take their chances now while they've got the momentum with them.
It's got to be a goal, got to be a chance at least. Rashford cut back, brilliantly done. CR7 and Ruben Dias come clashing together. It will be the Portuguese defender that just about comes out on top. 8 minutes to find 2 goals. It's quite a lot to ask. Rosie Comita from distance will take a shot. Takes a deflection out for a corner. It will go. What can we see? From this corner, whipped in towards that front post and defended pretty well.
And Ronaldo will just try and run as high up the pitch as possible, but Ronaldo's giving it away. Again, we don't often see that with a player like Ronaldo, and he keeps getting tackled. He's got tackled again by Varane.
CR7 to be the provider of the chance there. Finds Rashford eventually after it trickles its way through a few players. But they're on the verge here. Samantha of not just the big result, but a clean sheet as well from Liv Cook. Ooh! And Lisa Manley, what a save that was. Rosie Comita says, why not, from 35 yards out with the midfielder of choice into the hands of Van der Sar, and I think they are on the way to that clean sheet.
It does seem to be the case, and I think foot header and Rosie Comita will be disappointed if they don't get themselves at least a goal back, but it does look like Lisa and Liv are going to go on the attack again.
Could be 3. Cuts back, CR7 goes for a corner. Another chance that maybe on another day could have been 3 goals to 0. Played in towards Cristiano Ronaldo, who's met with his Manchester United teammate Rafael Varane. It's an added time of just 1 minute left to play here in this exhibition game. Will there be enough time to get the ball forward for Rosie and foot header to have just a consolation, if anything? Defended superbly well. It will be the duo of Liv Cook and Lisa Manley to take the result here. 2 goals to 0.
All doubted.
And you have to say it's fully deserved, Samantha.
Fully deserved. You can see from the start of the game, Lisa and Liv were slowly growing into it. They gave the ball away a bit at the beginning. It was quite transitional. But just after that, they picked themselves up in the second half and 2 clinical finishes.
Yeah, incredible stuff in the game there. And what a game it is in the end. 2 goals to 0. I think that's it from our exhibition match. And for now, it's over to Nicole.
Oh, all right. Are you all okay? Oh, look, I thought it was about to kick off.
Oh, I'm exhausted. You know, that was a lot. My heart was up and down. But can I just say, Rosie, how were them football tactics you talked about? I feel like who scored 2? All right, yeah. All right, yeah. No, but can I say, I actually think we played better football. I'm not even joking.
Mad?
I actually think we played
mad?
better. We can
So
go
that's
again.
why I
We can
care
go
about
again.
personally.
It's fine. Better football.
Does anyone have any boxing gloves right now? Who's going to go? OK, all right. Let's calm down. Let's chat about the game. Well, firstly, Rosie, why do you think you played better football? I mean, they've just won 2-0.
Yeah. Nicole,
I'm neutral.
You're not neutral, are you?
Go on. No, you guys had quite a few chances. You defended well as well.
No, we did. We defended well. I think we passed